rain in Spain falls mainly on the plain. The rain in Spain falls mainly on the plain. The rain in Spain falls mainly on the... Hello, Governor. The Tumblr podcast contains strong language and adult themes, so listener discretion is advised. Sorted, mate. All you bloody wankers better hold on to your knickers. Lord above, it also contains spoilers for any anime series, so please be warned if there's a show you are yet to finish, isn't it? Especially for Code Realize. Blimey, the opinions expressed are those of the individuals and do not represent Dubpolaria as a whole. Enough said, yeah? And it's gooseberry pudding night, so get your tom thumb and your bangers and your mash and... Wait, you've got to be kidding me. This anime that takes place in London doesn't have any British or Cockney accents? I watched My Fair Lady like 5 times trying to prep for this disclaimer. Ugh, Brad Pitt, I really need that box wine now. Enjoy the show! Hello, Governor, and welcome to another episode of Dub Talk, the show where a group of phantom thieves get together to discuss the latest English anime dubs and home video releases. My name is Gigi, and I'm taking time out from the shoujo trash of my channel, Anime Palooza, to host the podcast episode that you voted for. Get your box wine out because it's Ladies' Night by request. You asked for it. Woo, woo. We're talking about Code Realize, Guardian of Rebirth. And thank you to everyone who voted in the fall election arc survey. It's because of you I didn't have to force myself to watch Urahara right now.
No one is in a corner just pressed.
Wait a second. I thought this was Persona 5. This
is not the time for video game talk.
But
actually it is.
But this is in the video game about Phantom Thieves?
No.
I mean, it is. Sort of.
Kind of. You're not wrong, yeah.
You'll never see it coming, Zeph.
Joining me.
Oh, God.
Joining me on the request line tonight are my 3 best girls, Stephanie, Megan, and Zenith. And are we ready to start this journey through London, ladies?
Oh, I am
Let's
fucking...
go, bitch.
I am so fucking ready for this.
Let's go.
This is my first trash anime. Guys, this is my induction
really?
into trash.
Oh my god, this is her first Otome game adaptation. Holy shit.
Oh my god.
This is my first trash.
We're popping.
I am having so much fun today, and I'm loving this.
Gigi, before we get too far, could you give us a little summary of the show real quick?
I can. We're going to be going through the press release for the Funimation dub of Code Realize, giving our predictions and first impressions about the main cast of lovable characters. But for those of you who have yet to watch the anime, here's your little synopsis. Code Realize is based on an Otome game, aka the one where your main goal is to pick your boyfriend, brought to you by the same company that produced such shoujo trash staples as Amnesia, Brothers Conflict, and my personal favorite, say it with me,
Diabolic Lovers.
So the greatest trash group of all time, ladies and gentlemen.
But Radical Murder isn't in that group, so it's technically not the greatest trash group of all time.
I don't care. It works.
But there's no girls in Dramatical Murder, so... this anime has a steampunk aesthetic and features a group of characters inspired by both literary and historical figures, so everyone can pick a best boy.
Woohoo!
Our possibly worthless female protagonist, Cardia, has been trapped in a mansion for most of her life, where people call her a monster for her poison skin. Yes, if she touches anyone or anything, they will legitimately melt away. Just go with it.
Question, how does she use the bathroom?
They're gonna have to.
With
oh god, her pee is gonna
cardio-proof the toilet. They have to cardio-proof the toilet. I mean, they already.
Oh my god, if she gives them a hand job, they're gonna have no more dick.
She can wear gloves. There's gloves. God, just go with it.
No,
just go with it.
Cardio-proof the toilet and we're good. They already cardio-proofed everything else.
Is her saliva acidic? Because then she'll never have to give... Oh, God. Why are we talking about the implications?
Far?
Stop ruining my fantasy.
Like it.
But when the royal guards of England break into the mansion to kidnap her, she is instead rescued by master thief arson Lupin, who takes her back to his mansion with a group of guys who want to bang her, help her. And thus the Stockholm Syndrome begins. Will Cardia find out why she can't even hold hands within the span of 13 episodes because she'll turn her future boyfriend into a skeleton? And more importantly, whose heart will she choose to melt first? Wah,
literally
wah,
or figuratively?
Yes.
Both.
Yes.
I mean, if the show has any indication, I think we know where this is going.
Oh god.
Because the show always picks one best boy for the girl to fall in love with. Always.
It's
love
one
Persona
best boy
5.
or no one.
The best way to describe this show is Ouran High School, only if you took the parody and just went even further.
This
and
is not Ouran High School in the slightest.
No.
That's a terrible comparison.
Just an entire harem of people all after one girl.
No.
But that's every Otome game ever. This is the normal.
Okay, guys, Zen, I need you to look at me, even though we're on computers and we can't actually see each other. See, Ouran High School Host gives Haruhi this thing we call agency.
Exactly, but that's what I'm saying.
There is no such thing as agency in Otome games.
This is a parody of a parody, is what I'm saying.
It's not a parody.
We have to go deeper.
No, it's
This
not.
is not. No, this is the unintentional comedy here. This is the unintentional comedy. Let's face it.
As the person who sadly and fabulously knows the most about this shit, I'll help you out as we go through. But let's just get on that London train, London Bridge. We got to go before it falls down.
It's broken
We're
down.
going to do predictions. Yeah, which I haven't done in a long ass time.
Oh fuck, I have to open that document!
I just pulled up mine when you said
better
predictions.
hurry.
I'm like, oh
Whoops.
wait, we're doing that tonight.
Whoops, forgot that
I think
part.
we forgot if we established that today or not. Whoops.
Well, let's...
Let me guess, Zen, it doesn't have anything.
I figured out who a lot of people were by actually listening, because I made the Ouran comparison because similar voice actors in couple
But I bet there's a few
instances.
that you would not get.
There was a few that I would not get because there's one that voice acting black magic, and we'll get to that.
If you're talking about Sailor Man, I'm gonna say the answer is no.
No, we're not talking about that.
Ooh.
Shut the fuck up!
Okay, well, let's talk about the director and the writer. Does anyone have any predictions besides me?
I do.
All right, so you guys can go first, and I will follow along. And I have a feeling that some of ours are going to be the same.
I'm gonna go first then. So I'll start with my writers. My predictions were Aaron Dismuke and Emily Neves.
Ooh, okay.
Because Aaron Dismuke, he ends up in really weird places.
I mean, you're not wrong.
I'm trying to make that not sound really weird.
Yes!
I fucked up!
We fucked up, guys!
7 minutes in, Megan's already fucked. Jealous.
Phrasing.
Phrasing, Lana! But no, my other prediction was Emily Neves, because Emily Neves can write really interesting stuff. When she's not causing Zenith to want to cause a hamster-based murder fest, we'll try to not remember the certain Yu-chan show. But she also wrote Hyoka, which had a lot of weird wordplay and stuff. My director choices, I had two. One was Tabitha Ray.
Ooh,
because
okay.
I was like, okay, Tabitha Ray did a really good job with Suridere Children, and she's a newer director, and let's see if she can do that. And then, of course, it's Otome Trash Time. So who better than to direct Otome Trash Time than the Otome Trash Queen, Tia Ballard.
Yay! Woo! Same.
I'll start with my writers, too. Your writers were very interesting, Megan. This is what I put down for writers. Because when I was watching the Japanese for Code Realize, I figured it'd be something a bit more straightforward, but also lean toward the dramatics. So, one of my writers is actually Jessica Kavanaugh, she was one of the many writers on the Gosick team, and I thought that was pretty well done. And she was also on Rampo Kitan as well. when we talked about that way back then. And then I actually also put Kristen McGuire in here, partially because she's written some very good scripts like Tsukigaki. She was the writer for Tsukigaki, right? Yeah.
Yes.
Yes.
Yes. Let's not remind me of how dumb I was about that.
And then she also did the script for like Interviews with Monster Girls. But I also feel like at the same time, she would be a good fit as a director as well. So Kristen was also one of my picks. Both because my director and writer predictions, I basically went with newer, much more fresh faces. And Kristen was one of them, but I also thought Kristen would be able to handle that material very well. And then also, like Megan, because this is Otome trash, because this is a show that is more geared toward a female demographic, and we've seen this work successfully, at least with 2 shows in the past year, those being Kiss Him Not Me and Royal Tutor, I also had Tia Ballard as my main director choice for the show.
Yay!
Can I say something about Kristen McGuire really quick?
What?
She has an impeccable sense for writing stuff that is very touchy and may not translate over well. Mm-hmm. If you want a really good example of this, she wrote episode 4 of the season of Love Life Sunshine called, I think it's called Don't Call Me Daya. Don't Call Me Daya-san in the Japanese, which was an episode that was incredibly based around just honorifics. About how the girls would only call her san, but she would give the other 2 third years chan, and like different stuff that is like meant to be more like friendly in Japanese. The way that she translated it into English is almost flawless.
Wow. Okay.
So she is, and I would say like for a show like this, definitely where it's like it's like old-timey England and stuff, it could have gone really south really fast. So I was going to say she would have been a good choice to have.
All right, well, like Steph and Megan, Tia Ballard was also my number 1 director pick because she is the shoujo trash bishi show Funimation queen. There really was no other choice for me. And I also put her as writer because she did that for Royal Tutor, and I was like, get you a girl who can do both. But we're all wrong, and the more I think about it, the more that I'm kind of sad but not surprised that we were all wrong. So the director for this Otome Trash Fest is Mr. Jerry Jewell.
Yay!
So we have the rail tracer is the one in charge of the show with the train heist.
Hell yeah, motherfucker!
It's come full circle.
The train heist.
Yes.
Oh yeah.
You're right. Live X World's most infuriating train heist.
Oh God, yes.
My infuriating
I don't even know what you're talking about.
It's so fitting. It is so
We'll
fitting.
talk about it when we get to that character.
You go along with him being director. Afia Yu is also assistant director.
Yay!
Which is awesome.
So, and our writer is our good bishi trash shoujo trash friend Samuel Woolley, which I should have known, and I'm kicking myself that I didn't.
You're right.
All right, so our best friend, Jerry Jewell, he has directed such English dubs as Kami-sama Kiss, Free Eternal Summer, Orange, and my personal favorite, First Love Monster.
Boo, First Love Monster.
Shut up. Afia Yu has directed such things as Psyche K and parts of Assassination Classroom. And our wonderful writer friend, Mr. Samuel Woolley, has written The Royal Tutor, parts of it, Free Eternal Summer, parts of it, and Brothers Conflict.
Yay!
I think he's also
what
the
it
writer.
do?
I think he's also the writer for Shomin Sample, if I remember correctly, right?
Yes.
That's not something
he might be.
Is that something we should really talk about?
Well, in the context of this show, I think it needs to be brought up.
Okay, yeah, in the context of this.
Okay.
Why? What?
I've never seen Shomin Sample, so I have no idea.
Good.
Yeah, I don't hate
never
myself.
seen Shomin Sample.
I don't hate myself enough to watch Shomin Sample.
I watched like a few episodes for the episode, and that was it. I'm sorry. As a first-time directing gig for Aaron Dismuke, that's a terrible show to be on.
I mean, it could be worse. Dave Trosko's second show was fucking 7 Mortal Sins.
Yeah, but I mean,
well,
to
I
be
mean,
fair to
Aaron
Aaron,
needs
to be-
something to start his career. I mean,
Yeah.
he needs to be like, Big Brother, give me something to
Oh my
to direct.
god!
Just
Well,
and then
to
you
be
just
fair,
just everybody
unfortunately
please
for
imagine
me-
Alphonse like huddled over in like a booth trying to ADR direct some like shitty ass fucking farm harem bullshit.
Oh my
And then on the
God.
other side of the
guys.
booth, Dallas Reach is like, why the fuck is there a talking suit of armor in here?
Well, unfortunately
Big
for
Brother,
me, and all
why
of
am I
us,
doing such a horrible show?
Stop it!
Anyway,
Aaron Dismuke has nothing to do with this show.
No, he
So,
doesn't. Thank God.
not yet anyway.
I kind of want to say something before everybody else does about the directing and the writing on Code Realize.
Yeah, go ahead.
As in, this show is not what I thought it was gonna be at all. I mean, we're joking about we're having Shoujo Trash Otome Trash time, but the way that it was in the Japanese and the way that it's continued to be in the English dub is they're playing it straight, which I was not expecting at all. Code Realize is Otome Trash garbage, and this is more like an adventure anime than anything else. Like, they're playing it really straight. Like, I don't feel the trash moments in it at all. Like, maybe there's 4 so far, and then I've watched up to episode 8, so that's really sad. But yeah, I feel that they're playing it straight. So for directing, is this going to be an Otome or a straight dub? There's not enough camp in it to be the trash that I was hoping it was going to be, but it can be passable as a straight dub. And unfortunately, that means the direction, it's got to be kind of boring, because you can't really put the camp to all its camp potential if you're going to play a trash anime straight. But it's not the English faults in that. It's the way that the Japanese chose to produce it. They're producing it more like an anime for everyone, as opposed to something like Brothers Conflict or Dia Lovers, which is an anime specifically aimed at me. So, and as for the writing, I mean, it's like the Brothers Conflict writing. It's nothing really special about it. It's very, very true to the subtitles. It's like most of Samuel Woolley's work, honestly. But I will say that in episode 2, there is a Black Butler reference.
Oh yeah.
Spoiler.
Wait.
God bless you,
Hold
because
up.
I checked. That was not in the Japanese.
Hold up.
So
Where
good
was
on
that?
ya. Lupin and Cardia are talking in front of the casino, and Cardia says something like, "I want to be able to touch you," and he goes, "That's one hell of a pickup line." And I was like,
By the way, there's just like a solid chunk of like audio where I just like
Gotta turn the volume down. No. Considering who voices Lupin, that is the best thing ever. I didn't
Yes.
even realize
Yes.
that until you told me just now.
if I can then interject as somebody who did not watch the sub because she was fucking busy watching other things taking place in London with magic and shit.
Agent Magisburg.
Magus Bride's so fucking good. Fucking watch it. God, I got you the smokes.
God, we're coming down with something now, huh,
Oh
Megan?
God, I'm coming down with the case of the Magus Brides. Coming down with the case of the Bone Daddies. As somebody who did not watch the show, this show is fucking hysterical.
"Oh my god!"
As somebody who did not watch the show, I had points where I was legitimately laughing my ass off to this show. But no, as somebody who didn't watch the subs but is up to episode 6 of the dub, there are points that are legitimately hysterical in this dub. And that I think Jerry did a really good job getting the performances out. While the show itself may not be campy, I think the cast thinks it's campy. So I don't
agree with you at all.
I get that feeling that because I enjoy myself watching it. Like, I smile while I watch this show because it's silly and it's fun, and I enjoy the dub a lot to this show. And I was like, this is the best unintentional comedy anime I've watched this year. I will agree that I did feel a lot of the writing was similar in Brothers Conflict at points, but I think the performances that they got out were a lot different, because I believe only 2 of these people were, 3. 3 of them were, 4, god damn it, Brothers Conflict was a while ago.
Every person who's in Brothers Conflict I wrote down,
okay,
don't worry.
Thank you. But I did find some of the casting choices a little bit weird. Especially for a Jerry Jewel dub. I was not expecting these people to go certain places. But I'm pleasantly surprised by how much I've enjoyed this and the directing and writing.
I was actually kind of surprised because I was going into it thinking that this was going to be the campiest thing in the world. And I do find myself laughing at a lot of the events, but I think what works is because it's played straight. For me. I think this is really, really well directed. I think a lot of the cast put in some great performances. I only have maybe one minor issue, but honestly, overall, this is a much better dub than the show deserves, considering some of the subject matter. But
hell yeah.
But
don't bust on my top tier Otome trash dub. You know how long I've waited for this shit.
But with that being said, I think that's what makes it work, because you have some really great performances. You're able to stay engaged the entire time. And, you know, I was able to laugh more at some of the funnier lines, like when, you know, she unbuttons her shirt and, you know, they do all the little innuendos there. I think that was...
Because how dare a woman show skin? What a slut.
No.
Oh my God.
No. I was talking about the how dare you insert that in there. There's a lot of phrasing.
Oh,
yeah, there is
Lana.
phrasing.
And a lot of the stuff in episode 4, I was laughing my ass off when the moment like they said, "Oh, sister," I'm like, "Oh God!" Like really, like they're just dropping this out of nowhere.
I'm going to have so much fun.
You know,
my favorite was Van, and he was like, "Oh, that was a good body blow," and I was like, "Fuck."
And the funniest thing for me was Van Helsing is introduced, and when they say, "Oh, he knows martial arts and he's gonna teach you everything about martial arts," I'm like, wait, so he knows everything there is to know, and he's but what?
Yeah,
it makes him more appealing towards your
me. Towards me.
Towards Gigi specifically.
I'm trying to phrase it in a way that's not going to make me sound like a disgusting sexual pervert. Zenith, all of these boys are meant to cater to make it the Pacific fucking Ocean in your drawers.
Now, some of them, yes, some of them, and we will get to which ones make my panties drop, but...
Because it is that kind of show.
But
I mean, weirder shit has made people's panty drops on this podcast.
You're not wrong.
Hyoka put the Pacific Ocean in Lilac's panties.
I'm going to murder you. We're not talking about Hyoka right now.
Am I wrong? Am I wrong though, Lilac?
No, you are completely wrong. We've been over this.
But
am I
right?
All
right.
But anyway, again, it's the fact that it's played straight. You know, we have this really great voice cast talking to Victor Frankenstein and fucking Arsene Lupin and Herlock Sholmes. Like that's what makes me laugh, and I had a lot of fun with it. I think the writing and direction is great. It helps make the subject matter all the more fun to me.
All right.
Yeah, and I mean, I'm not saying that it's bad or that I don't like it, because I do like it, and it's not bad. It's really good. I'm just surprised at the way that the Japanese chose to make this anime. Like, they could have done it completely differently. And this is what we're getting, so this is what we're going to discuss. Steph, what do you have to say about the writing and the directing?
Well, as someone who doesn't have any knowledge of the Otome game, unlike you, Gigi, I kind of have to agree with Zenith that I think it actually works really well while playing it straight. But that's only because I don't know anything about the game itself and how it works. But I also didn't really have any moments where I just busted a gut laughing like Zenith and Megan did. Playing it straight worked really well for the show itself. And with the writing, really, it was very solid, very true to the Japanese, though there were some odd word choices, because my brain is just like, this is old-timey England, why are they speaking this way? But at the same time, this is also an alternate universe, so I can kind of forgive it for that. And then...
They pulled a Gosick.
not 100%. At least with Gosick, you can more base it purely on historical, rather than this alternate universe here. But,
steampunk.
Exactly. But on the directing front, I find it an interesting combination that we have Jerry and Afia here. With Jerry, he has directed similar shows of this nature before. Many of the ones you already listed, Gigi, when we were talking about him. So, if it wasn't going to a new director, I'm actually okay with it going to Jerry. Because he at least can understand the subject matter and can do rather well with it. But what's also interesting is having Afia as an assistant here. Because if we take into consideration, she and Micah Solasad, the two of them together have made light novel Otome games themselves.
That's true, they have. And
I forgot about
them.
that.
So
I own Backstage Pass. I am a horrible fan.
Yeah. So having, on Afia's end, the knowledge of how Otome games usually work and the tropes involved with that, it actually is a good counterbalance to fit in where Jerry may not have that knowledge and experience, even though he's probably worked on similar shows before. But having more of that technical standpoint that Afia brings in actually makes it a good balance, and I think that interesting combination of director and assistant actually works really well. To be fair, there are some casting choices that I do have some issues with, but we'll get to them later on down the line. But overall, it's very solid for what this show is. And considering, again, even though I have no knowledge of the game it's based off of itself, I think a straightforward approach actually works rather well.
I mean, especially Afia, like the director team, but like knowing Afia's work on Assassination Classroom and the work that she does, like I think this was a rather interesting choice and it worked.
But all right, let's move on to some of our lovely cast members. Let's talk about some of the auxiliary characters before we get into the guys we're allowed to bang. So first of all, we're going to talk about Rempart Leonhard and Queen Victoria, who is obviously the Queen of freaking England.
And not like an old hag, but like a fucking babe.
No.
Yeah,
she's a
we
bae.
have Babe Queen of England and Hardy McHardpants and
and a dilf. And a dilf.
Yay! I know where this is going.
So I didn't make any predictions for these two, although if I thought about it, I probably should have.
I only had predictions for the Queen.
I have predictions for both.
Okay.
I got nothing.
Okay. Steph, why don't you go first and then Megan will follow up.
So, I only actually did one prediction for the Queen because this actress has voiced a queen before. I had Dawn Bennett. And I figured...
because she was queen, did nothing wrong in Garo. Fuck you, Mendoza.
Exactly. Like, I can see that kind of range that she used for that. And that as well as probably her character... I'm gonna say it's Satsuki in not Rumble Kitan, Konohana Kitan. Where it's more
Too many Kitans,
where it's more of a deeper register. And I feel like Dawn would also have some fun playing this queen, because she's kind of a bit devious and evil, too, so.
Fucking bitch.
That's a good choice.
Fucking bitch. My turn. So, my prediction for Alexandria Victoria, because I did my entire cast predictions based off of the, I believe it's Axis system does the game?
Maybe.
Asius?
It's Otome.
Yeah, but they released it over in the States under a different title.
Oh yeah, Axis.
Yeah,
Axis does.
So
in
I
the
went
States.
to their site and looked up everybody. Oh
fuck!
And did it based off of appearances.
Nice.
Of course you did.
Because this is Megan here.
Fuck you! It works sometimes.
It does actually for her.
I got shit right before like that. Don't you fucking slut shame me.
Let's go back to ours.
I'm not going to slut shame you.
Look here.
We'll get to my I do this on appearances later.
I got king shamed by the boys via Fate last night. We're not talking about it. Anyway, my predictions for Leonhard were Barry Yandel or Phil Parsons.
Okay.
I thought, hey, these guys have played kind of older. I also missed the Booze Cruise. That's why I picked Barry Yandel. And my predictions for Alexandria Queen Victoria were Morgan Garrett and Elizabeth Maxwell because they play. Yeah. I'm sorry, the Queen looks like she could step on me.
Elizabeth Maxwell would have been good.
And Elizabeth, and also she kind of looked like waifu material. And I'll admit, Elizabeth and Morgan play two of my waifus. Okay, well, Elizabeth plays two of my waifus. But, I thought she had, like, the powerful, like, kind of sexy voice, so...
Okay.
That's why.
Yay! Well, speaking of sexy...
And powerful.
Our good friend... And powerful... Ooh. Our good friend, Rempart Leonhard, is played by Mr. David Wald.
Yeah, buddy!
And our lovely Queen Victoria is played by Stephanie Young.
Yeah, buddy. A name we haven't heard or talked about in a while.
I have no idea who she is. So let's get to the person that I do know who he is first. David Wald, a member of my newly minted voice actor reverse harem, who I haven't decided on what number he's getting yet.
Damn it, I was about to ask, did you figure that out yet?
No, because I think, it's a story for another video. But David Wald has played Victor, the DILF, the dad, in The Royal Tutor. He has played Albert, the DILF, in Ghostic.
We are not talking about Ghostic! That man is evil!
He's a DILF. And he also plays Reiji Sakamaki, the fun police. Woo! In Diabolic Lover.
So
Diabolic Lovers, More Blood, and he also plays somebody in Brothers Conflict.
This is not his first rodeo, of course, in the Otome.
It ain't his first rodeo, guys. It ain't his first rodeo. And Stephanie Young plays another queen, Queen Tahamine, in the Heroic Legend of Arslan.
Tahamine,
that bitch!
Tahamine.
Also known as Fuck You, Bitch.
Sorry. I haven't gotten there. Arachne and Soul Eater.
Ooh, yes.
And
also known
Nico
as
Robin,
Fuck You,
who's
Bitch.
At least, okay, and Nico Robin, who's at least someone I've heard of in One Piece.
Also, protect that bitch.
Protect that bitch. So she is that bitch that you either want to fuck or protect.
Okay.
Whoa, hold on. You say fuck. Fuck as mean die, right? As in kill. Not the sexual matter. Don't get your words mixed up or it's going to go out of context.
Phrasing.
Out the window.
Hold on, I can't breathe.
We broke Zenith.
And we're one down. All right, Zenith, so now that you're alive, why don't you tell us what you thought of the fun police and the queen?
He's actually the fun police in this show.
He is!
He is the literal fun police.
And I can make a roofies joke.
Police.
I think...
He gets roofied, so he gets a taste of his own medicine.
Yeah!
I think they both do great performances. We don't really see them enough in the first 4 episodes to really get a full indication on them, but for where they were, they did a pretty good job. I mean, Captain Hardpants, he
Captain Hardpants. Oh no.
I like it.
He lives up to his name. Oh
God. Are we gonna?
I love you, David Walls. I love you.
Please cut this out, Ellen.
Are you okay?
She's dying over there.
Are you okay?
And 2.
As I have seen more of the show, because I thought we were going to episode 6.
You've seen more of the hard pants? More of the hard pants?
I've seen more of the I've seen the hard pants chase Bashonen and Frankenstein around. I think David Wald does a good job. It's kind of I kind of feel bad because it's like, oh, this is just David Wald being David Wald in the background. I will say though, I really liked Stephanie Young as Victoria. because she sounded as conniving and scheming and powerful as I thought she would be. And just like, damn, woman, you bitch. You a bitch.
Yeah.
But she does such a good job, like, capturing, like, that I am the queen, and even though you're, especially to short Satan Finis.
Short Satan, that's nice.
Oh, no, wait, no. What did I have a nickname for him, because, I call one of the characters from, Ancient Magus Fried Booty Shorts Beelzebub.
Nice.
But, like, she, like, the way she's like, you're a little dick, but you're still one of my people, so we good. Don't fuck up again, you little asshole. I thought she was pretty good, and I kind of wish that the character was around more, because I feel like I would really enjoy Stephanie Young's performance if the character wasn't, like, an auxiliary character, and I hope to see her around in more stuff that isn't One Piece.
Or Blah Blah K Battlefront, because she is back for that this season.
Oh, that's right. I forgot she's KK.
Yep.
Mama KK.
Mama
yeah.
KK.
Which is next on my list of, things I need to watch, but yeah.
Do it! Season 2 is still going right now. You need to fix this.
Yes, I have. It is on my review list, so I have no choice but to watch it, like, next. So, yeah.
But you good. You recovered now.
Yes, I recovered my MMO junkie self.
Oh my god. That's not the show we're talking about.
I know. Sorry, I broke for a good minute there. But yeah, I think Captain Hardpants does a good job. He's not on screen enough. It's mostly in the earlier portions of the show when they're introducing stuff. But I think he does a good enough job. But I do agree with you that Queen San, she really is conniving, and she brings that across. And if they had shown her a little bit more, I would really get behind her. But from what I've seen, she's only been in like one episode.
She comes back in episode 5.
Yeah, I've only seen up to 4.
She's in episode 4.
She is in episode 4, yeah.
Yeah, so she does a great job. I wish I could see her more.
Oh yeah, I forgot she employs Hemlock.
You mean
not Sherlock Holmes?
Herlock Sholmes? Oh my god!
Not Sherlock Holmes. Let's not talk about him yet, please. Because that's
no, we're not there yet. Steph, what do you think of Captain Hardpants?
Hard Pants? Oh lord. I don't really have any notes on the two of them. They're both actually really well done. I'm just in the same camp as Zenith as I have. It's just I haven't really seen them as much as I would hope in order to really judge the performances. But based on what I do know, Stephanie Young is a devious, cunning, conniving queen, and I love it. And it's one of those things where it's like, the first time you meet her, and she's talking to Finis, she doesn't put him in his place, but she does remind him who holds all the power. And the way she commanded that scene was just absolutely amazing to me. And then David Wald as again, literal fun police. I can't believe we're saying that, but it's true.
He got roofied. He got roofied.
You're not wrong.
I mean, yeah, you're not wrong.
You're not wrong. I think he was very well. His character is very well performed, and I enjoy it because that character does need like a gruff presence, and David Wall pulls that off very well.
I want to talk about the fun police, Captain Hardpants, newly dubbed Captain Hardpants. I'm in love with him. I mean, David Wald playing his typecast. He's yet another evil dilf. I'd fuck him. His tone is perfect, and here's the thing. I can't tell if he's supposed to be a bad guy or not. Spoiler. Queen Victoria, Stephanie, sounds very regal, and I haven't heard her do anything, so I have no idea what she does. But I like that she sounds very true to age. Like, she is sexy, like, she sounds very regal. I really liked her. So I would let her step on me in spike heels.
Stephanie Young is definitely one of those voice actresses that if you're looking for a more, at least a few years back, if you're looking for a more sultry voice, a lower registered female voice, you would turn to her.
See, those are the ones that I like a lot. So I'm glad that they put her here so I can discover the newly cool person, Stephanie Young. Welcome to Dub Talk. I don't bite, but I will let you step on me. Anything else about these characters before we move on to part 2 of the Bad Squad?
I like part 2 of the Bad Squad more.
I mean, you're not wrong.
All right, let's move on to part 2 of the Bad Squad. So we have Mr. Herlock Sholmes, who is in the employment of Queen Victoria. And we also have Finnis, who is the big bad of this series.
Angry little Shota.
Angry little Shota looks like he belongs in Cute High Earth Defense Club, love.
You're not wrong, actually.
I love
No,
him
he
anyway.
looks
He's so
exactly
cute.
like he belongs
Yeah, he
in
does.
there. Did we have any predictions for this purple-haired sleuth or
Yes.
little Shota bad
Yes,
guy?
I did.
I only had predictions for Finnis because when I was watching Japanese, I didn't get to episode 4 where Herlock Sholmes is introduced.
Sholmes.
By the way, you go with Arsene Lupin, Abraham Van Helsing, Victor Frankenstein, Saint Germain.
It's because I think in
Why?
the actual Steph, it's because I believe in the actual story of Arsene Lupin. That is his name. That's why.
You are correct. You are right.
Yes.
Because
I don't care.
When they wrote the Lupin story, the name wasn't in public domain. That's how they got around it. That's why, and because he's Lupin's direct enemy in this, that's why he's named that and not the other way.
No.
You
Not
should
done
say
to piss you
fuck
off.
it at the no, but we already still have Abraham Van Helsing and Victor Frankenstein. You should just say fuck everything and just go Sherlock Holmes. I don't care if it's a direct connection to
This
the
is the
Lupin
most
story.
mad I've
I
ever seen
don't
Stephanie
care.
get at the
No.
Japanese.
I honestly
no,
wonder.
When we get to Victor Frankenstein, I'm gonna rage quit in a second.
I honestly
Logic!
wonder about this because there's a lot of actual historical figures, like Saint Germain is a real name. Barbicane.
That's why I'm like, why don't you just
It-
say fuck it and go Sherlock Holmes on this?
Yeah.
That's because it's in the
Well-
fucking Lupin story that way.
Yeah, but there's a difference
I don't care!
between historical figures and that's the problem with this. There's historical figures which are actually real historical figures because I looked up
Yes.
every single name and they're related to something. But then you have Victor
Same.
Frankenstein and Van Helsing and Arsene Lupin and Herlock Sholmes. Like there's not enough consistency with that, and that's where the trash comes in.
And that, sir,
Basically.
is where the trash is.
But still, I'm like, why?
You're basically correct.
I'm like, now that Sherlock Holmes is public domain, you could just say fuck it and go with that.
But when did it become public
Domain.
domain? Did it become public domain before the game was
I
published?
would think so.
It was public
I
domain
have no
when
idea. I really
when
don't
the
know the answer
Asylum
to
made
that.
their movies. So, you know,
Okay. I mean, I don't know about that. This is just what they went for at the time.
Yeah, I mean,
But
I
he
may
does
be-
live at the Baker Street address that Sherlock Holmes
Yes!
lives at. We're just saying that.
Yes.
I don't know.
Which makes me even
How does
more
this
angry.
world work? Because
I don't fucking know.
It doesn't. It's steampunk London and nothing makes sense because it's a fucking Otome game.
Frankenstein
and it
has
doesn't have
headphones.
It's
He does have
Okay,
headphones.
look.
for what?
If
A
this
dog
is-
has a
okay,
metal leg.
Yo, if this is all making you flip the fuck out, I would pay to watch you motherfuckers watch a Fate series. Y'all would be going
Nope.
motherfucking insane.
No, at least in a Fate
Nope.
series, I can actually believe that shit. But here, it's like when it's blatantly fucking obvious what they're trying to do. No,
I ain't even mad. I'm laughing
no,
at
I'm
it.
mad at more logic stuff
I'm just
later on.
I'm just
gonna just leave that there.
confused. I ain't mad. I'm enjoying it, but
Again,
I'm
I'm
confused.
gonna rage quit in a few minutes here.
Anyway, well,
All
Stephanie
right. Well, before you
goes and has a hate
rage
boner.
quit.
I don't have a hate
So
boner.
all right, speaking of hate boners, no, I'm just kidding. You knew who I was going to say and then it didn't happen. So I only made one prediction. It was for Finnis. And so the way I did my predictions for this, I actually made two cast lists. I made a what I like to call top tier list, which is a list of people that are veterans and have been going at this for years and years and years in the Funimation world comparatively. And then I made like another list which had newer voice actors on it. So the ones that I'm going to talk about are the ones that I feel we could have the most discussion out of for this podcast. So my pick for Finis here was Seth McGill.
Oh, okay.
Oh.
Because
Interesting.
Dance with Devils is a thing.
You're right.
And he crazy. He crazy. So he crazy. I was like, Finis is pretty fucking crazy. This is when I thought Finis was also a girl. Yeah.
I mean, do you have predictions? Steph?
I have 2 for Finis.
Oh wait, did Gigi say her Schmerlock Schloms?
I didn't have one.
Oh.
I just let him ride
Go.
me.
Phrasing.
Well then.
Phrasing.
Praise Lana. So, again, I didn't have anything for I'm calling him Sherlock. I don't fucking care because I'm gonna mispronounce the name at this
Okay.
point.
He's Sherlock in your bed. It's
Knock
fine.
off Sherlock. Cheap ass Sherlock. I didn't have anything for him because again I didn't get to that episode by the time I finished making predictions. But with Finis and with a lot of my predictions here, I based it off of my director predictions, so those being Tia Ballard, Kristen McGuire, and a lot of it's more younger, fresh face voice actors mixed with some veterans who are still of a relatively younger age. With Finis, what I did, I actually had Steven Sanders and Brandon McInnes for Finis.
Oh.
Because Steven
God.
Sanders, I had slight flashbacks to he was leaked in Royal Tutor.
Yes.
Because he could be like the nice perky hyperactive person, but then there was those little switches, those little moments where he just kind of darkens a bit. And I was like, I want to see what he can do when he goes full out batshit crazy and have a lot of dark moments too. And then Brandon McInnes, I've seen, and this is going to come back again in a little bit, Brandon I've seen play character types that are either very high balls of energy, like if we're talking gamers for instance here, or
Where he almost fucking Mufasa's cliff.
have you seen 91 Days now?
I haven't seen 91 Days yet, and I own it.
You need to fix that. Because he plays, because the other character type I've seen him play at this point is the weaklings with like the hearts of gold. So this would be a completely different character type that Brendan would get to play. But things happen. So, Megan.
Megunay.
So I'll start with my Sherlock predictions, because I did in fact do predictions for Herlock Shlomes. So going based off appearances, I picked Garrett Storms because why the fuck not?
Yay!
The human Garmin has come into our good graces, and he can do kind of like slightly emo kid voices besides Rem from Dance with Devils.
You're alright.
Like Rogue in Fairy Tale, and my other pick for Herlock Shlomes. You guys are all about to cheer. It was Alejandro Sub.
Oh my god!
Oh!
That would
Yes,
actually be
like,
awesome!
I was like, hey, he can do kind of like big tall guy voice. Fuck, Leonhard. That's what his name was.
Yeah.
Was kind of like, they're like less like his Keita voice. His not Keita. Keita's the guy from Gamers. His character from Denki from Akibus Trip.
Yeah, okay, yeah.
But more of a shonen, because it sounded a little older than the guy, than Leonhard.
I see what you're saying.
Then Finis. Oh, Finis. Gigi's gonna be happy with one of these.
Uh-oh.
So, my first prediction for Finis, because, hey, Finis kind of struck me as, like, more soft-spoken. Okay. I didn't know he was, like, the devil. So my first prediction was Howard Wang.
Yay!
Oh my god, that actually would have been amazing!
And then my other prediction to fall back on was Dallas Reed.
Ooh.
Oh, yeah.
Ooh, hot
Because
damn.
Dallas Reed has a really good range, besides being, my sword son. But I don't remember Dallas Reed playing an evil character.
I don't either, actually. That would have
Nope,
been
me
interesting.
neither.
So there was that. By the way, because I don't think I have him mentioned on anything else, Gigi, you watched the Dance with Devils commentaries, right?
Of course I did.
Was it Seth McGill who Kyle found out was the other team football fan and instant betrayal?
Oh,
I think it was
fuck,
where he's
don't-
like, I wouldn't have casted him if I knew he was an Eagles fan.
It was him or Aaron Roberts,
No,
one
it
of the
wasn't
two.
Aaron Roberts, because Aaron Roberts was...
Then it was Seth McGill.
Yeah, it was Seth McGill, and I remember it being fucking hysterical. Anyway, go on.
Time for the wonderful mystery reveal of Mr. Herlock Sholmes, who's played by Austin Tyndall.
Voice
Detective
acting-
Karma, bitches!
Voice acting Black Magic.
Not this character.
No, not
There's
this
somebody
one.
else.
I wouldn't say
And then
Black
we
Knight.
have...
I don't.
No, I knew it was. I knew it was him the second
Well,
he talked.
I couldn't tell. And I mean,
I knew it
granted,
was him.
Everybody's different.
I'm more used to his normal Karma voice and not his detective Karma, but I've seen him in a couple of things. I did not recognize him here. Maybe it's just me.
I think this is slightly leaning more towards probably Angelo from 91 Days a little bit here.
Never saw that.
Well, you need to first of all, but I'm thinking that's where my brain is going with it.
It kind of reminded me a little bit of white-haired Kaneki. So.
Ooh, actually, you're right there.
I haven't heard any of Tokyo. I haven't seen Tokyo
Exactly.
Ghoul
You haven't
Rude.
seen season
Anyways.
Well, along with Austin Tyndall, our baby bad guy, Mr. Finnis, who I keep calling Feedy for some reason,
Great. I like this. I like this one.
is Justin Briner.
Oh my god, this was
Now,
fantastic.
Evil.
Anyway, let Gigi do her job.
Ugh.
I know we talked about Austin Tyndall a little bit. He is Karma in Assassination Classroom. He's Mr. Gene Otis in Aka 13,
baby.
and he is Suna in My Love Story. And Justin Briner, along with being Mitri in Danganronpa 3, Mika, which I finally got right in Seraph of the End.
She did.
He also plays Deku in My Hero Academia.
Yeah.
Now go nuts.
Okay.
I gotta
floor
say,
is
can I
open.
just say first off, in terms of Justin Briner, because I think for all of our predictions, we were looking at actors like, we haven't seen these people play evil characters. I've never seen Justin Briner play a straight up evil motherfucker.
Okay.
No.
Well, true.
So we kind of got what we were hoping for, but in a different
And
sense.
Steph, just go. She's already talking.
Oh, may as well. I actually didn't write any notes down for Justin. Shit.
You fucked up.
Motherfucker crazy. Kid is
Right?
crazy. And I love every second that he's on screen. Though, on occasion, he can kind of get a little carried away with the crazy. Just a hair. He can dial it back a tiny bit, I think.
No, he does not need to dial it back.
No.
That's what you think. I think he kind of just overdoes it sometimes. But it's very, very rare when it happens. But I think it's lovely. Again, I've never heard Justin play an evil motherfucker before. This is just amazing to me.
What? Okay, wait. Hold the phone. You finished 91 Days.
Yeah?
He was the psychopath in 91 Days.
But he was also mentally broken by other human beings. He's not the evil motherfucker of the entire show. Yeah.
True. Okay, I can't say anything because I've not seen the show.
You can't tell me anything. You haven't seen the show. Sit down. But,
Nobody's told me to sit down yet today. Just wait.
But,
Sit down,
I really-
Gigi. Sit down.
there we go.
You need to have a valid reason.
You're a dirty, dirty whore. Sit down.
Okay.
I'm sorry, I didn't mean to be that mean.
We love you,
Sorry,
Gigi.
that was mean.
All right, everyone, sit down. Well, I'm already
down.
seated. I'm already seated, but sit down.
Yes, we're all seated, but sit down again anyway. But yeah, Justin Briner, like, is fantastic as this evil villain, but you can also... I feel like there's some small hints of a softer side, but more in regards to Cardia. because reasons, I think. And then we have Austin Tyndall as knockoff Sherlock Holmes over here. That name is gonna frustrate me, I'm sorry. But,
Sherlock Gnomes.
Shut up before I punch
It's just Sherlock, but it's you think it's Sherlock Holmes, but it's actually just a bunch of gnomes topped on top of each other in a trench coat.
Fucking A.
You thought it was Sherlock Holmes, but it was really I-D-O.
I-D-O.
This is not time
Science,
for
what did you get here?
This isn't the time for a JoJo's reference.
It's always time
There's
for
always
JoJo's
time
Wait
for
a second,
JoJo's
is that a
reference.
motherfucking JoJo's reference?
JoJo's reference.
Austin Tyndall. God damn it. Austin Tyndall is knockoff Sherlock Holmes. I did enjoy it. I mean, he's only in one episode I've seen so far, because I've only seen up to episode 4. But, for what
I too loved Murder on the Orient Express.
Oh
I
my
know,
god.
right? For what it's worth, I had it in here somewhere. I have a note. Oh, there it is. He basically manages to capture both the cunning and the charisma of the character very wonderfully, because Sherlock Holmes as a character in general in fiction tends to have a good amount of charisma to him. So he manages to capture this knockoff one very well with that. My only thing though is like, seems too obvious of a choice. It works, but it seems too obvious of a casting.
Wait, Austin Tyndall was the obvious
Really?
choice in this prediction?
Kinda, yeah.
Really?
What? What drugs are you
It's
on?
weird. I don't know. I think I'm gonna blame the name of the character. I'm just gonna play about that.
All right.
Whatever the fuck you're smoking, give me some.
She just wanted Detective
All
Karma
right.
so we could round out the karma pool.
Oh, the karma pool's never gonna end. Just you wait. We're gonna
I
get
know,
like
right?
many more iterations of karma. It's weird of me to. I know it's weird of me to say that comment, but it's probably because mostly in my mind when I was making predictions for this show, I was leaning towards the lesser named actors and actresses. I think that's my problem. Because again, I was stuck on it being treated like Otome trash, as it is,
Right.
and it going to someone who who gets the female demographic who is the show is more catered to. I think that's my problem, is because my mindset of where I was predicting this cast and Austin Tyndall in my mind being too obvious of a casting choice. I'm not saying he's terrible at it. It's a perfectly fine performance. It's just my brain is linking it to this reason.
I mean, I like Detective Karma as much as I like Farmer Karma, so
Farmer Karma.
from Assassination Classroom.
Farmer Karma.
It's
You sneezed for me.
the DVD extras.
I did.
Oh!
I don't know.
Oh, I remember now.
I haven't even
don't know
finished
what
it.
you're
Don't
talking
spoil it.
I know what she's talking about. Anyway, you
okay,
go, Zenith, because
well-
you were talking.
All right. So my feelings on these two. First of all, Finis is a little shit, and I love him so much. I think the voice acting, Justin Briner here did a fantastic job. And here's the thing: the moment I knew I loved this this dub from the very beginning was the London Bridge is breaking down bit that he
I
says.
was about to say, Justin Briner can sing, guys.
Yeah, and I'm
Yeah.
Apparently, if you
Yes.
ask Alejandro, this should be a well-known fact.
And I'm like,
I haven't
oh
heard
my
before.
god. And it's like, this is where I'm just like, oh, this is really, really good. And Justin Briner, you, from the moment you opened your mouth, made this a memorable dub for me. Finis is one of my favorite characters in this, just because of what the character is able to do. And a lot of it is simply the voice acting and from that very first line. So kudos. As for Sherlock Poirot,
Good name.
I think Austin Tyndall does a good job. I would not have seen him in this role, and that maybe it's because he's cast as this character is why I was saying voice acting black magic, is because I don't usually see him as this type of character. I usually see him as younger, characters, but he does a perfectly fine job here. I have no complaints with it. It's just not who I would cast. Yeah, good job, but Finnis, oh my god.
Well, it's funny that you said Austin Tyndall as Herlock Sholmes was kind of like your voice acting black magic. I don't think it went that far because I instantly recognized him, but I was really happy that this is actually like the least dry and deadpan I've heard Austin Tyndall play a character in a long, long time. Like, I think Tom from First Love Monster is the one that I'm going to go back to where it wasn't extremely dry and deadpan, because I think of Austin Tyndall as like the baby brother to Jerry Jewell. Like, they can compete in the dry deadpan award for everything.
Nice.
And fun fact, which we're going to mention now. I didn't really watch it. Like, I did, but I wasn't really paying attention to the point where I could, analyze it. But I promised Megan I would mention this here. So we all know that Jerry Jewell likes to cast himself in his shows. And I bet $20 on Twitter that Jerry Jewell would play Nemo, who we're not going to talk about because he's in episode 6.
Give me $20.
This $20 is going to go to Chris Ayres' GoFundMe or whatever he has, his page, because Chris Ayres is amazing and you should all go donate. But Megan wanted to talk about Nemo really quickly, even though we didn't get there.
I'm the only one who got to the number 4.
All right, Megan, you can go. You can go find Nemo.
You find Nemo.
Wow.
He's played by Mr. Damon Mills, our wizard.
Jesus fucking Christ, Damon! What did you do to gain this magical acting ability? I mean, holy shit!
We'll just let
I
Megan
was
go off for a minute.
Okay, so I'm sitting there watching it, and all of a sudden I thought, yo!
That's her reaction is
Yo! I was like, who plays that? I was like, Damon was like on Twitter, I play Nemo! And I, of course, didn't see the picture for this character, so then walks out, I'm going to assume vomit from a Rastafarian.
oh my god!
White-haired steampunk motherfucker. And it's just
steampunk nightmare.
Like, he's doing, the shocker with his hands, and it's just, his tongue is out, and he's just like, look into my airship! And I was like, holy Christ on a cracker, Damon.
Oh my god, I have something to look forward to, don't I?
I was like, oh my god, what the hell is happening?
Well, now I have to keep watching. This is a show that I'm going.
What? Episode 6 is the best episode!
I'm gonna probably go back to it once we finish recording this.
This is a show that I'm going to wholeheartedly continue watching because it's so damn
you
fun.
have to, Damon! You started your first trash show, Zenith. You need to finish it.
Yes.
It's your duty now.
Especially
take
for
the
Damon,
trash
because
out the whole
Damon,
way
I'm
through.
convinced, can do no wrong. I have never heard Damon Mills in a bad role.
It's fact.
Damon is a beast, okay?
It's
Damon,
facts.
you beautiful, beautiful
all right.
beast. You.
Beautiful
Should I talk about
yes.
Gigi, go back to you talking about Schmurlock and Finnis. I need to catch my breath.
Yes, you
Then
do
I'll
that.
come back.
So
Come back.
I think that Austin Tyndall is in on the joke on this show. Like, who you guys were talking about that earlier? Like, they're in on the Otome trash. I think Austin Tyndall's in on it. But the number one trash champion of this show is Justin Briner in all his camp glory, fucking playing Finnis. I never thought I would see him as a bad guy, and I never thought I would see him as a camp bad guy, and by goddamn gosh and gollies, he is the best, and his performance is what I wanted out of everyone in this show.
So now that you say, you just said freaking ham shit, I'm like, I'm gonna put him as a contender for Dubbies now. Pardon me.
Yay!
Golden ham, bitches!
I don't need...
Now I have to
Golden
change my
Ham, Justin
Now I have to
Briner.
change my Dubby award thing because
you guys at least have the 30 till the 31st. That's why we put that there, just to give all of us a month to watch whatever shows.
Yeah, I don't remember who I put for mine, but I think I might have to change it.
Start.
No, wait, I remember who I put for mine. I'm not changing it. But yeah, he was super camp. I loved it to pieces. And Megan, are you done dying? We need to have a dying counter for everyone
Okay,
apparently
I'm too
today.
Well, my
I've-
death counter is at 2 right now.
Yes.
I've gotten over my case of the vapors. So,
You have the vapes.
The vapors. I got the vapors.
Vapes.
Case of my vapors. Austin Tyndall as Herlock Shlomes, because I'm gonna do it just to piss off Steph.
Yay. Thanks.
He was exactly what I expected. It was Tyndall-y. It was Tyndall doing Tyndall. So I knew who it was, and I was like, oh, okay, this is better than I expected it. Wasn't a big standout. Finnis is my son. Like,
He's a little
is my
shitlord
son.
that you want.
I want like 10 Finnises in my house. Like,
Why?
He's 30. I just want to let him go out and burn things down. But no, like Justin Briner was like on point, snapped into position. Fuck everybody else. Like, this was his kingdom. He gonna burn it down. He's gonna get his Cardia back. Like, he was absolutely terrifying and intimidating and creepy, and at the same time, in episode 4, you also feel, like, absolutely bad for him because he just wants his sissy back. So I think, he is a contender for, Ham, Golden Ham of the Year award, along with Damon, because Damon, once you get to Damon as Nemo, holy shit.
Yeah, you might need to do a golden ham off here.
Yeah, so
It's gonna be tough nearing these awards.
It's gonna be a
this
tough year. But I think that, unlike Steph, though, I don't want him to tone it down, because if Finnish ends up getting nutsier than he is, I want Justin to go, like, above and beyond. I want Jerry and the engineer and Afia to look in the booth with Justin in there going full ham and be like, you know what? He might need to go into a different type of padded room.
Have a honey ham. Here, have this entire ham.
Justin, eat a Snickers. You're not yourself when you're crazy.
have some Tima hammy. You know, just get all the ham in
No,
there.
not time hammy. He just needs a fucking Snickers. That's all that kid needs right now.
He needs a Snickers.
That's so
He's hungry. Give him a fucking
All
Snickers.
right. I'm so glad our bad guys are so good, but we do have to move on to some people who are not as bad. So I'm just gonna fucking throw this out there. Predictions for the dog.
I didn't
Ein.
make any, honestly.
I think it was Ein.
None, but Roots required me to insist that we talked about the dog because he wanted to talk about the dog.
We are talking about the dog. Predictions for the dog. I didn't have
I got
predictions for the
nothing for the
dog.
dog.
Chris Guerrero, best dog.
Chris Guerrero,
Best
best
dog.
dog.
I don't
know, Tom
Shadow.
Would Kai like this dog?
Good boy.
I have
So
a feeling that
soft.
Kai would
So
like it.
soft.
Shiitake
He's
is
not soft
also
enough.
a good dog.
He's not soft enough. His leg is metal and he's wearing a top hat. There's a heart
This
on
is
his
a
butt.
this is a Full Metal
But it's
Alchemist
also
dog.
corgi.
Oh my god.
This is a Full Metal Alchemist
Metal
dog.
dog.
It
Full
is.
Metal corgi.
So
It's the full metal
the dog's
corgi.
name is Sissy. There's no real predictions for the dog. And then the other person we're going to talk about right now is Baby Drac himself, Delacroix the Second,
I made predictions for that.
who is Baby Dracula. I did have a
Go to
prediction for
Dracula.
Baby Dracula. I don't know if anybody else
I
did.
did.
Did anybody?
Oh, by the way,
predict-
there are vampires
I did,
in this
okay.
show. Hello.
Yeah, by the way, there are vampires
And
here.
they're not like
Yeah,
actually
vampires.
vampires.
I mean,
They're
to be fair, you have Abraham Van Helsing. You have to have some sort of supernatural thing going on here.
But it
they're-
doesn't
but they're
mesh.
not
Exactly.
actually,
It doesn't
They're not
fit.
actually vampires. Shut up, Zenith. Let it happen.
At
Whoa,
this
whoa,
point, just
whoa.
let it happen. Just let it happen.
Let it go. Let it go like Elsa. My prediction for Baby Drac, because Baby Drac looks like Minami from Yuri on Ice, is Trina Nishimura.
Oh wow, okay.
My prediction for Delacroix the Second. I assumed it was gonna be a male voice, so I put I had a Justin battle. It was either gonna be Justin Pate or Justin Briner.
Nice.
Who won?
I went in the similar vein as Gigi and went with female voice actresses, but I actually did Terry Doty and Brina Palencia.
Ooh.
Yeah.
All right. Zen, Baby Drac.
I didn't have predictions for this one. But
All right.
child actor, I don't know.
We're going with it. Just go.
You tried. That was all that mattered. Okay, so actual Baby Drac. is Trina Nishimura.
You lucky bitch. Lucky bitch.
And then Sissy the dog is played by our assistant director herself, Afia Yu.
Aww.
Oh, wow.
All right. So Trina Nishimura, if you don't know who she is, besides Minami from Yuri on Ice, which thank you for that, is Mikasa from Attack on Titan, and Aiko in Bakken Test. I don't remember who that was, but I remember Bakken Test. And then Afia Yu has been Yo in Love Life Sunshine, Yuzuki in Selector, Infected, and Spread, Wicross. You'd think I'd know how to say the word spread. And she was Charo in Puzzles and Dragons Cross X.
Also known as Japan has very weird naming conventions and what the fuck.
Megan is Dead Counter part number 2.
And now Megan's broken.
That's 2.
So, Zen, what do you think about Baby Drac and the dog?
I'll go.
Yeah, that's what I said.
Okay. The dog, I don't really have much to say. It's a dog, but I mean, it's Afia, so she does a great job regardless. As for Drac, this is the other hammy part of the show. And this could easily have been a role that could have grated on your ears, because it's a character kind of like Renge in the fact that, the character pops up, does some stuff, and then goes away for a little bit, and it does have a backstory, but it's really not that important. Baby Drac is just, this whiny little boy, but I loved it. I loved the ham on display. I think the voice is just the right amount of almost irritating, but not. Like it gets to the point where it's just like it's so hammy and it's so enjoyable, but it never gets to the point where I didn't like it. So Dracula is one of my favorite characters, but like I didn't expect this to be Dracula. This is one of the points of the show where I'm just like, wait, what? Because Van Helsing and the rest of them are going to steal something, and there's this big heist, and there's a vampire medallion, and then all of a sudden this little boy shows up and says he's a phantom thief, and I'm like, okay, so who is this going to be? Is this going to be Joker from Persona 5 or something? And it turns out, oh hey, it's Dracula. Wait, what? I love this show so goddamn much. And this is Baby Dracula.
Welcome to the realm of Otome game trash.
I love this so much. Baby Dracula is one of the other reasons I love this show. And so thank you. You did a fantastic job, Trina. And you keep on doing what you do. You do good.
You do you. Megan, you all right? Have you come back from the dead like Baby Drac?
I piss off. So Afia did a good job as CC, because you just have to make little whiny noises and stuff, and you can still, as I've learned from another show, even grunting and making noises like that can actually be really, really key in providing a good performance and stuff. And she makes believable dog noises. Also, CC needs to be plushies that you can buy.
Yes.
Just saying.
I would buy it.
Delacroix, on the other hand, I have nothing against Trina Nishimura. I think Trina Nishimura is a fantastic voice actress. And I really, really do enjoy her as Minami in Yuri on Ice. This is Minami if Minami had no sense of control. And as much as I can like Delacroix when he's having more quiet and emotional moments, Delacroix screams every other line he has, basically. And it does get kind of grating on my ears, personally. It's not an awful performance, but I do think that it could have been toned down a little bit. Whereas I want Justin Briner to go all the way, like, plaid, evil, crazy ham. I need Trina Nishimura to dial it back a bit. But other than that, I enjoy what's going on, but this isn't... Delacroix is not my favorite performance, and I would honestly call it the weakest out of all of the performances in the show.
Wow, okay.
Steph, you want to go or you want me to go?
Does not matter to me.
All right. Well, I think it's funny that, Megan, you said you wanted to dial Baby Drac down. I got exactly what I wanted with Baby Drac. Trina Nishimura plays a good, cute little boy. I think that
high
is
five.
great.
High five.
I don't
Yeah,
think it's
high
bad.
five.
I just think that when Delacroix screeches,
Well, no.
it hurts.
I think he could have dialed it up. Like, I was really waiting for, like, the more dramatic moments to be more dialed up in drama. But I honestly, I don't remember the screeching. Maybe it was because this is the other thing I have to say is that it sounds like he has a stuffy nose the whole time. So I'm getting like Baby Drac sniffling, and then
It almost felt like he was
Baby Drac
holding back sometimes.
Yeah, like I think maybe that was
like
it.
it never got to the point of Renge where there are certain parts with Renge and Oron where I just wanted to strangle her, but she gets better. But like with this, I didn't feel that way. Like, I don't know.
Like, I think I just wanted the dramatic beats to be a little more
Punched
dramatic and a little less Shota, maybe. As for Afia as Sissy, my thing that I wrote down was it's a dog.
I mean,
She did good. I'd buy the plush. Steph.
okay. I also agree about Oppie as a dog. It's a dog. She's good. I would buy the plush. In terms of Baby Drac, I'm actually on Team Megan with this one. Because
Are we gonna have a civil war here?
I hope not. I love you guys. I don't want a civil war.
Yeah.
But my thing
Ladies'
is,
night, take
and
it down.
this is literally the note I wrote down by the time I finished episode 3. Trina is ... I don't know. And it was hard for me to process it. Like episode 3, I actually thought she was fine. With like more of the dramatic beats, and it actually worked rather well. But I was still like hesitant. I'm like, I don't know how to feel about this one. Maybe we'll see how episode 4 goes. And then we get to the beginning of episode 4. And I think Megan's comparison to Me being like out of control is probably the best way to describe that scene that she's in particular.
Yeah, and in episode 6 is kind of the next time I believe you really hear Drac talk again. Drac kind of screeched every line there too.
Yeah, and
Yeah, you are right.
and then like she didn't 100% screech like every single thing, but there were moments where it was like, I think I was a little concerned with Trina's vocals. I was like, oh girl, you're pushing it. Please don't kill your vocals.
Yeah.
Because I could tell that
Don't
it was
die,
probably getting
Baby
to that
Drac.
point where I was like, oh no, she better not take it too far, and then she's just gonna be like out of it for a few weeks. But I'm kind of in more Camp Megan on this situation where it was fine up to a point, and then it's the screeching that kind of took it too far for me. To the point where not only is it like a little bit grating on my ears personally, but the fact that I'm more personally concerned about Trina's well-being, her voice. That's the line that I draw. If I hear that you're probably like reaching too far for it to the point where you could possibly damage your vocal cords, that's too much. Like, dial it back a little bit, because I think who had said it once? Colleen Klinkbeard had said once that doing the Luffy voice for so many years actually changed her voice itself, her natural voice.
Yeah, and for Trina, that's gonna be, if she keeps doing that, it could potentially be a really big issue with stuff like Attack on Titan Season 3 coming up, where Mikasa has a very specific way that she talks and a very specific tone that she talks in.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, that's basically my main concern, is that Trina could, if she takes it overboard like she has been, at least up to me, at least from what I've seen, it could damage her vocal cords. That's my concern. Though, I mean, obviously we don't know Trina personally. Maybe she has better control of her voice than what we think.
Yeah.
I don't know, but that's just based on what I'm hearing with Baby Drac here, and that's my concern.
All right. So next time, Baby Drac, less bat sonar.
I mean,
right.
that's the best way to put it.
No, and here's the thing too. I also kind of
No, it's true.
If I can say something really quickly about the show too, I actually really don't like the idea that Delacroix, because he kind of looks like an underage child and probably is is a route, but I honestly think that the character...
He's not a route.
Oh, he's not a route? Thank God.
He's not a route.
Thank God. He is really cutely designed, and I love, like, cute little vampire kids, so A+ design.
I'm just gonna...
I want an acrylic stand.
I'm just gonna throw this out there. I was doing Google image searches before jumping on recording just to get, like, images of characters for the show. Apparently Baby Drat grows up to be hot.
Hell yeah!
Oh.
Yeah. I'm like, damn,
Yeah.
okay, son. Let's go.
Insert that picture in editing, please. I'd like to see hot baby Drac.
Give me a minute and I will find you one and I will show you myself.
Sweet. All right, well, while Steph is Google image searching, let's move on to something that I've been waiting to talk about for an hour, and that is boys. Here are the boys
More
you can
boys?
fuck, guys. What boys?
Boys you can fuck.
Boys you can fuck.
The
These
fuck
are your
boys?
choices. Yeah, these are the fuck boys. These are the ones that you can bang. Your bangable choices in the Code Realized game have transferred over to the anime in the form of these boys. And the first one that could be your bachelor number one is Count Saint Germain. Count Saint Germain is actually based on a real person. He was a European courtier, and he liked to tell people he was born in Transylvania. I don't know if that'll make sense for anyone at the moment, but if you watch ahead in the show, it might. So, Count Saint Germain never opens his eyes. He wears a top hat, and based on looks alone, he was in one of my best boys, but in this anime, not so much. So, did anyone have any predictions for the Count here?
Surprise, surprise. This is actually where I put the Dilf Whisperer.
Really?
I put David Wald here.
Yeah.
Really?
That'd be interesting.
And then my backup was actually J. Michael Tatum.
Ooh.
Really?
Huh. Interesting.
Okay.
Remember, I did this based off of looks alone.
Okay. All right. Steph.
Okay. I had 3 predictions. Again, my predictions were mostly based on my director choices, my director pick predictions. But I also had mixes of non-Buck influences in here too. And the 3 I picked here. Ooh boy. Austin Tyndall.
Okay.
Howard Wang.
Yay.
And my first choice was actually Damon Mills.
Damon
I had
Mills
Damon-
was on my list, but
Woo.
he's not the one who I'm going to talk about. My prediction here was Dallas Reed.
What?
Because Saint Germain
Okay.
is very soft-spoken. He's the one who has all the money, and he's calling all the shots. And I was like, okay, well, Dallas Reed can do a nice...
Oh, so he's the sugar daddy.
He is the sugar daddy. Saint Germain is a sugar daddy. And Dallas Reed has proven that he can be, a nice guy, as in Cheerboys. So
Right, okay.
Ah,
I see where you're going with that.
that was my pick for Saint Germain. And we got Brandon McGinnis.
Hell yeah.
I have words.
So
Hell
Brandon
yeah.
McGinnis, he has played Keita Amano in Gamers, another ladies' night favorite. He plays Goku in Nanbaka, and he plays Toshiro in Tokenranbu Hanamaru.
Yay!
And can I just
By the
say...
way, season
hold
2
on, hold on.
2 is coming.
Can I also just say, hashtag do it for Corteo?
Hashtag do it for Corteo.
Because I have to
Welcome
bring
back
it up.
to
He's
Trend that
yeah,
shit.
nice.
Hashtag do it for Corteo.
For Corteo. Because Noah's done this a few times. If you've gotten this far in the episode so far, in the comments below, hashtag do it for Corteo. Let's go.
All right. So I don't want to go first for him. So
I will.
So Megan will be the volunteer as tribute.
So remember how Zen thought voice acting black magic for Austin Tyndall?
Yeah?
And I was like, nah, fam, it's somebody else.
No.
Surprise, bitch!
No.
I had no idea.
Really?
I did not know. I walked in and I was like, who the fuck plays this guy? And then I looked, I was like, I have no memory of this place. No, it was great. I was like, holy shit, what the fuck, Brandon? Like, it's so charming and smooth, and when it gets to be silly, is really silly. Like, I was having a great time with him as Delacroix. Not Delacroix. Wow.
Wow.
Wrong character.
Saint Germain.
Shit balls, piss ass, bitch ass. No. I thought he was great as Saint Germain. I was completely on board with it. I thought that he was fantastic. I did not know it was him. So good on you, Brandon.
I didn't like it.
No?
I didn't believe he wanted to fuck me. So that's when you're in an Otome game and that's like the main I mean, he's very nice. Like, I feel that he's very nice. He's got the snobby little rich kind of accent kind of down. I felt that he was very friendly enough. But I wasn't feeling it. And I really hate that because I love everything else that he's ever done. And I wasn't feeling it here.
If I could interject for a sec, I think that's more a problem of the character and what they're going with the show, not necessarily Brandon. Because I saw what the little preview of, like, episode 5 was, and it seems to be more Victor Frankenstein oriented. I feel like there has to be a future episode where Saint Germain is more of the central guy that you spend time with.
There's not.
Really?
He does not get his own episode. Normally in an Otome Shoujo Trash show, every guy will get his own episode that is centered around them.
Okay.
Saint Germain does not get an episode, at least as far as episode 8. Which is way too long to be having an introduction episode. But Saint Germain does not get one. So I feel like if he actually weren't a route in the game, like, and he were just there, like, as an auxiliary character, I'd be more on board with this. I don't feel any attraction between him and Cardia. And that's important. Like, in a game or in an anime that's based on an Otome game. I don't feel any attraction between them at all.
I think the other problem that might be occurring here is the Otome anime adaptation syndrome, where the anime adaptation just sticks with one route in particular and just focuses on that. That being the Lupin thing. I think that's the other main issue, and that doesn't give the other main boys any real chance to shine. But that's just what I'm thinking of right now.
I mean, you're right. But I do actually, when we get to the other guys, like, I feel more of a chemistry between them. But I don't know. You know me and my weird feelings.
Yeah.
And I'm not feeling it here.
Okay. No, I understand. I mean, considering, like, how Otome games and stuff like that usually go in their tropes. I mean, I think, because I haven't seen past episode 4. So, and you're saying that there's no Saint-centric episode up at least till episode 9.
Correct.
That you've seen.
Correct.
And they're getting into the last third of the show soon, too?
Yeah.
Unless they want to throw it in the last minute, I don't know.
Well...
That's gonna be tough.
Well, I don't want to spoil it, but they technically could.
Please don't.
So,
cool.
I don't think...
So they could.
They could,
There's still a chance.
But I don't think they will.
Okay. Interesting.
But I mean, if you're seriously gonna play it like he's an auxiliary character, it was fine and great. Like, I would 1000% believe it.
And that's the thing, is that, like, I don't get the impression, I don't know anything about the game, so I don't know that it's a route.
Yeah,
so
and I think that might be a thing.
I can't blame anybody who doesn't watch. I can't blame like myself for not being into the game, but liking Brandon's performance a lot and not realizing it was him and being very impressed.
No, and you shouldn't. I'm just saying that because I am familiar with the game enough.
Yeah,
that...
there's the difference there. Like, you're familiar with the game, we're not. So that's where your opinion comes from, because you're familiar with the game. You know that Saint is a route, which for you and your comments, it's completely understandable.
Yes.
Okay.
So, Steph, what do you think about it?
Your points are very valid, all things considered. Kind of going back to when I talked about him as one of my predictions for Finis. This is definitely a different kind of character that I've never seen Brandon play before. Because I've seen him play the Balls of Energy, and I've seen him play the Weaklings with the Hearts of Gold. With Saint, I could tell it was Brandon.
I couldn't.
I heard twinges of Corteo in there. So that's how I managed to pick up. Twinges of Corteo, and maybe slight hints of Amino from Gamers as well. But it's definitely a gentleman, regal kind of character.
See,
And
this
I
is the
love
type of
it.
character. See, this is for me is the type of character I would have expected like Tatum to play.
Yeah, because let's face it here. Like, when you think, if we're talking about Tatum for like 2 seconds, when you think of Tatum and the types of characters he's normally cast as, the suave gentleman usually is one of those main ones he gets casted as. So
Suave gentleman's sugar daddy.
I don't know about sugar daddy, but suave gentleman. But this is very different for Brandon, and I want to see more characters like this from Brandon. I really do. Because I do love me my characters like Corteo and Samon Goku from Nanbaka. But this is definitely a different side, and I enjoy that gentleman, regal personality that Brandon puts into the performance. So I really liked it. Just unlike Megan, it's not a voice acting black magic thing for me.
Zenith, what you think?
Eh?
I feel better now.
That was...
He was one of the ones who I felt the most that indifference to.
Okay.
Not just on a character level, but on a voice acting level. It's a fine voice. That's the problem. It's fine, but it never does anything more for me. Like,
I see what you're saying.
it never goes past the point of just being. It's safe. It feels safe to me in a show that is all about
right.
about this this really makeshift patchwork adaptation of what the fuck. You know, we're putting in Victor Frankenstein, and we have a character called Saint Germain. He is a real figure, and I looked that up, but doesn't stand out. And you know, in a show where a character named Impy Barbacane, which is a real person,
I didn't know it was a real person, actually.
Barbacane,
Is it?
It's from
I
Jules
thought it was
Verne's
a character
novel.
in a book. Well,
Yeah, a character in Jules Verne's novel.
yeah, it's a character in a book.
Yeah, but we don't recognize that name that much, but he stands out far more than Saint Germain, and it feels like there should be more to him. It feels like really it should stand out more, and I did not particularly care for this character. Like it's not bad, it's just not.
Basically, what you're saying is compared to some of the other the voice actors in this main cast, Brandon kind of just gets lost in the background, is what you're saying.
Yes, he's no
That's fair.
He's no Finis, but he's also no. Well, there's a character I have a problem with coming up, and we'll get to it. But like, he's in between. He's like he's like the middle of the sandwich, but not hearty enough to fill the sandwich.
I see what you're saying. I get what you're saying, and that's completely valid. Like, I am kind of stuck on it being a different role, but you to a point. I think you are right. It kind of, compared to some of the other performances in the show, it kind of does get lost a little bit. But I think Saint Germain doesn't exactly have a lot either right now.
Yeah, I kind of wish.
That's the other issue, and that's more on the show, I think.
I want to table this discussion until after episode 8. Like, I wish I could do an addendum, but I'm not going to do it. All right. That's just,
Anyway.
I want to say something so bad. Okay, I'm not gonna. All right. So
please hold back, because we really need to finish the show.
yes, we're gonna
we're
gonna table Saint Germain. I'm gonna comment in the comments after episode 8 with the dub gets aired, so I can addendum myself. All right.
Cool.
I think that's in like 2 weeks.
Yes.
Yeah, because it's up to 6 now.
So we're gonna move on, and now is the time, loyal listeners, that you need to get out your ponchos, because it's time
about
for my
to get wet.
It's about to get wet. It's time for my.
Let me put on my best SeaWorld voice, please.
There you go. Please do it, Megan. Please do the disclaimer.
Oh boy.
If you're enjoying our show so far, things are about to get wet. If you're seated in the first 8 rows of our theater, you will get wet, because you're in the Splash Zone.
It's time to talk about Van Helsing, who's my
Get
best
ready
boy.
to drop your
I gotta
panties.
do one thing.
No.
I have to do one thing. Hold up.
Yep.
I gotta do one thing because I feel like it's stupidly appropriate. Ready?
Fuck you guys.
It's never gonna get old.
Oh god, I think I
All I can say is that my panties are ready to drop. And I hope yours are too.
Oh, mine are on the floor. All right, turn the seal off. I don't want to think
Sorry,
about the seal.
I had to so bad.
Oh god. Okay,
I
it's
love you,
time to talk about
but I
Van Helsing, who is my best boy character. He is my best boy character. Please keep that in mind as we say our predictions. My prediction for Van Helsing was someone I forgot and I have to look at really quickly. It was in my second list. I'm going to talk about it was Chris Waycamp, because Bruno makes the panties drop. So
Hey, Gigi.
hey, yes.
Guess what?
What?
I predicted Chris Waycamp as Van Helsing.
Oh my god.
Hell yeah!
Guess what?
What did you do?
What? Did
I also
And I did as well.
Ooh.
across the board.
I also had a second prediction.
Okay.
My other prediction was Damon Mills, actually.
Ooh.
That was my other prediction for Van Helsing that I wasn't going to mention, but yes, Damon Mills.
I only had Chris Waycamp.
Chris Waycamp was my number one, though, because Bruno makes the panties drop.
Exactly. Bruno is amazing.
Across the board,
Let's
Chris
go.
Waycamp's. But I am not at all
Oh, here we
disappointed. Not at all disappointed in who is actually cast as Abraham Van Helsing. I'm crying because
Yeah, I wonder why she's
Oh,
not
Jesus
disappointed.
Lord.
because it's Ian Sinclair,
She's
my
so happy right
husbando.
Holy shit.
And
I'm having a
there
heart
goes the
attack.
panties. There they go.
Palpitations.
There
Oh
they go.
God.
They've been
Oh my
flood.
God.
They're just going down the Mississippi.
Oh my God. So if
They're,
you
they're
don't
gone.
know
They ain't coming back on.
who Ian Sinclair is, besides being my number one voice actor husbando, who is playing my fucking best boy, he is Dandy in Space Dandy, Kaname, the big hoary guy in Brothers Conflict, and Juzo, my new husband. Oh God, Juzo did nothing wrong from Danganronpa 3.
Oh.
This is count number 2 on the Gigi death count. Somebody else speak.
Oh boy. Oh, who's gonna go first while Gigi recovers?
Oh, fuck me.
If she ever recovers.
Never.
I can go.
Go ahead then.
This was fantastic. This is one of my favorite voiced characters in the dub. From the moment Van Helsing came on screen, granted, I was dying at the fact that we had Van Helsing when he first said our scene's like Van Helsing, like that, and the fact that he's not shooting real bullets, it's salt bullets.
I mean, why not?
He's so thoughtful. He's so thoughtful.
But Van Helsing is one of my favorites. Especially, I especially love the way they utilized him in the opening. The fact that he spins rifles and doesn't know how to hold them properly. But really, like in terms of voice acting, I think this was really, really great. Second favorite of the boys. Just so manly and so I don't care about your shit, but really tortured on the inside. Like this is a perfect candidate for everything. Like this is, if you're looking for this boy's looking for you. Yeah, but I give it a 10 out of 10. This is great.
Help him get over his dead wife. I'll go next. I really liked it. I thought Ian Sinclair was a really great choice. Episode 6 with him makes me laugh because he keeps on trying to want to kill Impy. Because Impy's a little asshole in that episode. He's not my favorite boy. But I really enjoyed the performance. And I like when Ian Sinclair gets to do dark, brooding guys. Like, Juzo from Danganronpa was great. When he was really sad, I mean, we all can agree that Ian Sinclair was the best part of Sir Vamp.
Yes.
Grossler and Akka is a good example too.
Yeah, Grossler and Akka is a fantastic example, and that was one of my favorite performances he's ever done. So yeah, that's about it.
Steph, you go, please.
Sorry, I had to yawn for like 2 seconds.
Why are we whispering?
I have no idea why you're whispering.
I like to whisper too.
Why the fuck are you guys whispering? I don't understand.
And I just made an elf reference for no reason. Anyway, go.
I also think Ian is wonderful in this role. And it's very weird I say that considering some of the comments I'm going to say about Lupin in a few minutes.
Uh-oh.
But I think he works wonderfully as because Helsing I picture as a gruff, like, cold and oddly charming character, and Ian, I think, at least in these first 4 episodes, has captured that rather well. For the most part, anyway. Helsing's also not my best boy, honestly. Ooh. I don't even know if I have a best boy this time.
Yeah, honestly, I don't.
I honestly don't think I do. Maybe Saint Germain.
I'm with Steph.
Maybe Saint Germain, but I don't know.
I have a best boy. We'll get to him. And there are reasons.
I have a best boy too, but he's also the devil.
Megan's best boy is the devil.
Have you been dancing with those devils?
Oh,
not this time.
All right, let's. I need to stop talking about puns and start talking about Ian Sinclair, the love of my life. So he's not Van Helsing. Isn't what I thought he was gonna sound like. Wasn't what I thought, but he was just what I wanted. Just what I wanted. I really didn't think Ian even had to change his voice much, except to be more stoic. And since Ian Sinclair again can read me the phone book, and I'll still need a poncho, like I was super very happy, so very happy and surprised by it. I also think he has really great comedic timing and good one-liners in here. Like, Van you wouldn't think would be funny. Like, I would never put the funny mark on Van. Like, I'd put it more on Impy. But for some of the things that he says in here, I think that they were really funny. I don't know. I thought Van was the funniest character in here, but I'm also very biased because he is my best boy. I love him a lot. And honestly, just not what I thought it was going to be, but exactly what I wanted. It's like Jerry Jewell reached into my soul. And also, I should have known that it was going to be Ian Sinclair because Junichi Suabe plays him in the Japanese. And almost
what have we learned?
Everyone Junichi Suabe plays, 95%, except for Victor, goes to Ian Sinclair. So... And I was like I looked through his little chart thing and I was like, oh, that's an Ian roll. Oh, that's an Ian roll. Oh, that's an Ian roll. Oh, son of a bitch. So, yeah, I was very happy. You may all now remove your ponchos. You're safe now. There will be no more splashing around, at least for the moment. Let's talk about someone who might be a little stitched together and is not going to do much splashing. It's Victor Frankenstein.
Yay!
We're in an anime, and we have a character named Victor Frankenstein, and he wears headphones, and is a...
Because fuck you, that's why.
Steampunk.
And he's a bishi. All right.
Because reasons. Bring me back, Professor Stein. That was better.
Because Otome.
Otome needs to have a bishi.
Oh my god! It's clicked in my brain that we're talking about Frankenstein. All of a sudden, I'm like, wait, my rage moment. Oh no!
Here it comes.
No.
Before Steph rages, prediction wise, I thought Fran was kind of a whiner. So you know what I do when there's a whiner? I predict Justin Briner.
That's funny, because I also have Justin Briner.
Because we're the same person, apparently. Did you have anyone else?
Apparently. I had 2 others.
Okay.
I had Brendan McInnes in here, too. Fran kind of gave slight vibes of Corteo to me, so I was like, okay, Brandon could fit that. But I also had Micah Solis on, too.
Oh,
as
really?
my third choice. Yeah, because I figured, like, a mix of, what is it? What am I thinking of? Like, slight Royal Tudor vibes a little bit here. That's what I kind of had.
Of Prince of Heine. I almost want to call him Heine.
Heine.
Yeah, I had slight Royal Tudor vibes going into it. I'm like, you know what? Fran is the intellectual. Micah has played intellectual characters before, and again, going back to my director picks, I was like, all hands on Tia, and I was like, okay, Micah's done a show with Tia before. Here we go. So, full circle.
Zenith, who did you pick?
I picked Chuck Huber.
What? You know what? No, I'm not even going to say anything because Sir Vamp is a thing that
But there's a reason for this, because he played Professor Stein in Soul Eater.
She just wants to see Chuck Huber as another Victor Frankenstein again. That's all she wants.
And it worked then. Why can't it work? I just want Soul Eater to continue, damn it.
My predictions are that Victor Frankenstein, I had Aaron Dismuke, because I thought Aaron Dismuke was going to direct. And then my second prediction was Steven Sanders.
Ooh, okay.
Those are both very good choices.
I didn't know that he was soft-spoken, and Steven Sanders did a fantastic job as a really soft-spoken dude in Tsukigakure.
Well, one of these things is like the other. Stephanie's pick is the one that belongs. Victor Frankenstein is played by Micah Salasad.
Yay!
If you don't know who he is, besides being Megan's best boy, he plays Soul in Soul Eater, Yukine in Noragami, and Tsubaki in Brothers Conflict. So, Tsubaki versus Frankenstein. The gap is large here, kids. The gap is large.
So we had one character from Soul Eater playing Professor Stein, and one character who eventually goes to be Victor Frankenstein. Coincidence? I think not.
You lost me on your logic, actually, and I think I was spacing out. But anyway.
Zen, what do you think about Fran?
I think voice-wise, he's okay. He's definitely better than Saint Germain. I think the voice is very solid. I think it does a great job at getting my interest. I'm not too big a fan of the character, though. The character is really not for me. He's not my type. But I do.
Again, welcome to Otome game hell, where everybody has one type. Not everyone.
Well, I have a couple types that I like, but yeah, I think Victor Frankenstein does a great job. He's not around enough, and that's one of my major complaints, I want to say, because Cardia doesn't interact with him that much.
We haven't gone to episode 5, unlike you.
I know,
yeah.
I'm saying episode 5 would really fix a lot of this.
Okay, but I think from what I've seen of his voice, I think Micah does a great job. I'm not going to say it's super fantastic because it's not one of my favorites, but I think it's a great job to the point where I think the character is solidly voiced. I don't think anyone in this show does a bad job, aside from one small problem that we'll get to coming up, but I think overall this dub is very, very good and, is natural sounding. So anything I say, keep that in mind. Victor Frankenstein, great job, just not something that appeals to my tastes.
As somebody who has seen episode 5, I think that Micah does a really good job as Fran, as they call him. Fran he can get the sympathetic across, he can get the regret. Sometimes Fran is a bit of an exposition dialogue little mouthpiece. But I overall enjoyed the performance. I would feel, honestly, sometimes that, as much as I do like it, how Zen had issues with Brandon McGinnis falling into the background, sometimes so could Victor Frankenstein to me. But I'm not gonna knock it and say it's the worst fucking thing on earth because it's...
I can totally see that. That's kind of one of my main problems, is that he kind of slips into the background, and they're actually, as big as this cast is, it tends to be dominated by two main people.
Three main people. Well, 2.5.
Yeah.
You're right. on all gowns.
You're not wrong.
Yeah, and it's just like for an anime that's supposed to be a trash harem, and I was ready for a trash harem. I had my
Me
porn
too.
and my naked apron ready, but
Here's your first mistake. You thought of it as a harem. It's an Otome game
but
where you go down specific.
but I
routes.
should
You
be
don't
able to
get the whole
choose
thing.
all of them, so all of them should be
Yes.
equally
That's the-
viable.
It's true.
That's the flaw with the Otome anime adaptation. That's the flaw with the anime, not the game.
Yeah.
Like, the genre itself, you can only go down one specific path. But 9 times out of 10, when you're taking on an anime adaptation, they only go one certain way.
And even then in the game, you have to play it multiple times.
Yep.
Yes.
Yeah.
Well-
That's the rub with, like, Otome game anime adaptations in general, honestly.
Well, but you're right, because every character you should be able to have some kind of attraction between you, aka the main character, and whatever boy you want to bang.
You're right, yeah.
As for Fran, though, I'm not used to Micah Salasad playing these soft-spoken characters. I am so in the Yurio little shitlord mindset that I never would have thought of him playing this character in a million years. But it actually, I think it really fits him. It was like surprisingly good to me, and Fran is not my type. I do not like Fran. I do not like the soft-spoken little meek guys. That is not for me. But I thought he did a solid job. I think Fran as a character is kind of one note though. So that's
Yeah, I can agree with you there too. That Fran is very, very like one note.
and
Yeah.
I feel that his performance reflected that, and I'm not saying that that is a bad thing, but I think that is what the character called for. So Fran was fine. He is not the route I'd pay $4.99 for, but I thought he did a really good job.
Guess that leaves me, huh?
You're the last woman out.
Woohoo. This is everything I exactly had pictured this character to sound like in English, and I'm very happy about that, because Fran, it's a mix of, like, the kind scholar, but there are moments where he can be a bit of a spaz. Let's talk about that moment where, out of nowhere, like, the end of one of the episodes, I think it was episode 2, he goes over to Cardia, he just, like, lifts up the skirt just to check out the fabric, and the intention just gets really, really, like, the context and the intention just gets really,
Yeah, that
really
was good.
misconstrued. That was perfect reaction to it. Yeah, this is exactly what I had pictured Fran to sound like in English, and I love every second of it, but I also do agree that there's only so much of the character that Micah can pull off. Because, again, Otome anime adaptation syndrome, and Fran, at least for me up until now, because again, I've only seen up to episode 4, he's also kind of been in the background, similar to Saint Germain. But if episode 5 is going to be any indication, according to what Megan has been saying, that it should fix that. But yeah, I this is exactly what I pictured for this character when I think of Micah Salasad voicing Fran, and I enjoy every second of it.
Yay! All right, we only have a few more boys to go. So the next
Woohoo!
one on my boy laundry list, his name is Impy Barbicane, who, fun fact, in Japanese is voiced by the dude who plays Makishima from Yo Mushi Pedal, who's my Yo Mushi Pedal husbando. He's also in Udapri, so he's been around the Otome block a little while. Impy Barbicane is based on a character in a book from Jules Verne called From the New World. He's a mechanic. He is over the top fucking ham. And because he's over the top fucking ham, actually, this is what I'm going to say 2 predictions for. Number 1 was Alejandro Saab, because he is one of my best boys, and I had to put him somewhere. And he can do over the top fucking ham, because my first girlfriend is a gal is a thing. God bless that man. I don't know how he does it, but he does it. And again, over the top ham. He reminds me of Lawless from Sir Vamp. So my number 1 choice here was Ham Ian Sinclair.
Okay.
Megan.
I had 2 predictions for Impy because I also believe that Impy could go ham, and he looked like he was going to be a fun time. So I had Rico Fajardo as my first choice. And then my second choice was Joel McDonald.
Ooh, okay. That's an interesting one.
Yeah, it really is. I mean,
he managed to go, like, maybe slight pervy ham if you're talking Yona of the Dawn, which is awesome, but...
Do you not... I know Gigi hasn't finished it yet, but Lilac. Mm-hmm. His character in Akito the Exiled.
Oh, shit, you're right. You're right. Damn, okay. Now I see your logic. Okay, yep. I forgot he did that show. I had 2 predictions for Impy as well. However, my mind went the non-Baka route, and I kind of was like, out of the main 4 leads in that show, who would fit as Impy? So, one of my choices was also Alejandro Sub.
Yeah!
But my main choice, I actually went with Jared Green for Impy.
I can see Rock it.
Rock is a bit of a doof. A goofy little doof. And I was like, let's make Jared Green the goofy doof again. And make him Impy. Let's go.
Make him Impy.
You can do it. I believe in you.
Make it Impy. Zenith, who do you want to make Impy?
Well, my prediction was Kyle Hebert because Impy reminds me so much of Kazuichi Soda from Danganronpa. And I actually kind of think that would have been a better casting choice. I have issues with Impy. We'll get to it.
So as our main flirty is Cardia is his angel Impy. We have a Chris Guerrero. Chris Guerrero, I know him as being the dog from Royal Tutor. That's about it.
Best dog.
Best dog. He also played Ainz in Overlord.
Yes.
And Gecko Moria in One Piece. I know him from nothing except the dog. I can't comment on any of Chris Guerrero's previous work because to me he is so soft.
The dog.
So soft.
He's the dog.
He's the dog. So somebody who knows Stephanie, you've watched Overlord. How does this compare?
I have.
How does this compare? How is he as Impy compared to he's the dude with the skeleton, right?
Yeah.
All right, go for it.
He's the main character of Overlord, because Chris Guerrero has an interesting range. This is the first time you ever heard us talk about him. He's a very interesting range. Wait, Gigi, you've heard of this man.
Why?
You've seen Toriko, right?
I've seen like 7 episodes of it.
He's the narrator.
I don't remember the narrator.
He's the Liam Neeson voice narrator.
Oh.
Yeah, now you've heard of Chris Guerrero.
Okay.
I'm about to say, wait, you've seen Toriko.
Of course I have.
Hardy would make the joke about the Toriko like narration. But it's interesting because 1, I didn't think Chris Guerrero would ever be in a show like this. And 2, they actually, instead of going with the normal Liam Neeson voice that they usually have him throwing in there, they had him go with his natural register. This is more of his natural tone of voice, and it's very interesting to me. I actually think it has a good amount of youthful energy to it, and I really like as well that he's getting more large roles now, especially after Overlord, because Overlord, he plays both of those voices. He has his no more tone of voice as the in-game player, but as Ainz himself, he has the Liam Neeson deep voice kind of thing going on, which is an interesting contrast, and it definitely plays with his range a lot. It's always refreshing to me when voice actors get the chance to play outside of their normal type, and in Chris Guerrero's case, I like that here as Impy, and I wish he could get more major characters that are not Liam Neeson voiced, but it definitely is a nice youthful energy to the character, but it's also not my first choice either. I'm like, it's interesting, because again, in my mind, Impy was more a little bit of the gruffer, lower register kind of voices, not Chris Guerrero's natural voice. It's a bit of a weird situation, however, like, after watching 4 episodes of it, I'm on board with him as Impy, honestly. I think he plays the flirtatious, slightly obnoxious little doof rather well, and I love his performance here as Impy so far.
Megan, what you think?
I'm on Steph's side. And I think it was adorable. Impy is probably, if I had to pick a best boy, my best boy, even though he makes me want to throw him into a river.
Yes. Impy deserves to be thrown in a river sometimes, let's face it.
Impy needs a cold shower. Let's all just say it right now.
Yes.
He needs to stop hitting on Cardia so much. Please.
No.
Impy is really great. There were times when Impy annoyed me, but I think that was the character itself, not Chris Guerrero. And I really, really am happy that, like, Steph said that Chris Guerrero is getting another chance, this chance to do him now as, like, a Bishi and shit. Because Chris Guerrero deserves to get his range shown off more, not just being big gruff dudes or dogs. So I fucking enjoyed the hell out of it.
I think I know what Zenith is going to say, so I'm going to go first. So I think Chris Guerrero is doing well as Impy in the direction that the show is going. Because ideally, Impy's like the big slutty one, which normally I'd be all about if this were the game. And I don't think he's flirty enough or over the top enough. If this were the game, I want to see more ham. I want to see more, hey, I'm coming to get in your pants. Like, that's what I want to see out of Impy, because that's how he is in the Japanese. He is like, bam. Like, he's like, I know my way around. Like, you're my angel Cardia. Fly into my heart forever. However, in the way that this anime is being directed and the way that it's being written, both in the Japanese but mostly the English, I think Chris Guerrero does a fine job at playing Impy in his own way. Like, really, just my notes were, I wish it would be more flirty. Like, if this, like, you know how we give like the This Is Fine awards and the dubbies, if we had to give it to one person, I would give it to Chris Guerrero for This Is Fine. I mean, he's a fine Impy. I don't think that with the direction the show is going, that it would be prevalent for him to play it more over the top. But in my head, I want it over the top, so This Is Fine, I guess. He's doing a good job. Like, you know what I'm saying? You guys get what I'm saying.
I get it.
Yeah.
I get it. I hear ya. I got you, fam.
Again, it's the perspective of, hey, I know a bit more about the game compared to the rest of you. So,
and he's one of them too that I don't feel like there's enough chemistry between him and Cardia.
Again, that's the fault of the show.
It is the fault of the show. I want there to be some more chemistry. Like, I found it with Fran. Which was very odd. And I found it with
Van, yeah.
I found it with Van, but I'm not finding it as much here, and I feel that I should feel it second most here, and it's not. But that's okay, because this is the direction that the show has chosen to take. Zenith, the floor is yours.
All right. First of all, I do want to say that Chris Guerrero is a great actor. Loved him as Moria. He does some fantastic stuff. As Shadow, he was best dog. So what I'm about to say is nothing
Best dog.
It's nothing against his acting capabilities, but I think this is 75% of a good performance. There were large portions of it I loved, especially when he's on the table, going on there and declaring his, his love. And he definitely had that youthful energy about him that the character needed, much like Kazuichi and his Sonya appreciation. But the problem I have is that 25% of the time, a lot of his lines feel forced. And I noticed this most, maybe it was just in the earlier episodes, but there were episodes peppered throughout, like when he's just talking to Arsene, and he's talking fine, he has nice natural register, and then his voice changes slightly, and there's this slight forced tint to it. And it's something that really, it's not something that's major, but it did kind of take me out of it, because the rest of the time he doesn't have that air about him, and he's really into that character. But that 25% of the time when he's answering questions, or when it almost feels like he's slightly breaking character.
You want something interesting now that you say that?
What?
You know how I had slight minor gripes with the writing? A lot of it came from Impy's dialogue.
It is. He does have some of the weirder
lines. A lot of it
lines.
came from Impy's dialogue, yes. So now that you're saying that, it might be a mix of the character and the writing. That's the problem here. That's what I'm thinking.
Yeah, it could be a mix of that, because he does get some of the weirder lines, because he's the only one that's actively pining towards Cardia for the most part. Like,
Yes.
Arsene,
Like, he's not subtle about it.
Oh, he's not
No.
very subtle, and
He's not subtle. It's great.
but there are ways of going about it that I feel would have been better. And I don't want to say this is a bad choice. This is fine award pick right now, because it's the one that I have the most issues with, but it's not bad, and I can't bring myself to say that I disliked his performance, but
yeah, I see what you're saying, and now that you're like pointing all that out, I'm remembering in my head. I'm like, a lot of the minor writing gripes I had were with Impy's dialogue, so I personally think that might be part of it, as well as the character himself.
We're gonna talk about one more boy, and his name is Lupin the Third.
okay,
Yes,
there
kidding.
goes. Guys, get ready to get soaked, because this is mine. This.
Oh
No.
man.
Really?
Oh, this is gonna be an interesting conversation.
All right, so Arsène Lupin the Third, the master thief, wears top hats, which makes me so happy, and bow ties sometimes. And fun fact, you can't play the Lupin route in the game until you beat everyone else. So you have to fuck all the boys before you can fuck Lupin. What the
Because
fuck?
Wait,
popular route is popular.
Wait,
yes.
you have to
Well, no,
beat
but in
all
Amnesia,
the
they have-
boys, or beat
What?
off all the boys.
Yes.
Oh my
You need,
god.
you need to jerk them
You
all
need to
off.
get them all off before you can get off Lupin.
Milk them
So-
like a
so
cow.
But in
beat them, fuck them,
Amnesia, it's not like that. Like Amnesia, you get the secret character at the end, which we're not gonna talk about.
Same with dramatical murder.
Yeah, you get like the secret character. You don't get the main character at the end, which is very odd to me, but that's okay. So Lupin, oh man. So how I said I had 2 cast lists. I actually
Yeah.
had a secret third cast list because I had my worst fear for this dub before anything was announced.
I feel like I know where this is gonna go.
Before anything was announced, my worst fear about this dub was that everyone was gonna have a British accent.
Oh, okay. Okay, that's not your worst fear.
My
Okay,
worst
never mind.
fear was that everyone was gonna have a British accent. So I made a regular choice for Lupin, who's fucking hot as hell. So I picked sexy Josh Greeley. And then
I'm done. I quit.
my real choice, my no way in fuck is this gonna happen. They really aren't gonna do my worst nightmare and make everyone have a British accent, are they? My choice for Lupin was J. Michael Tatum.
Okay.
Stephanie, did you pick sexy Josh?
I wish I did.
Oh,
That would have been funny. No, again, my brain and my predictions went based off of my director picks and what they've done in the past. No, the thing I thought was gonna be funny that I was saying before would be if Sunny Strait was cast as Lupin. Because he's the Lupin for the Funimation stuff. But anyway.
no. I thought you were gonna go somewhere else even after you said Sunny Straight. So no.
No. That's why I was laughing my ass off. But I had 3 predictions. I had going in reverse order. So my third choice was actually Chris Waycamp.
Yes,
Hey.
I can
I
get behind
thought-
it.
I wanted to see him as a leading man, a major leading man, which, I mean, now we see him as a major leading man for something else, but we're not talking about it. I also had, my second choice was actually Kyle Phillips, because my
What
brain,
has he done?
he's,
Is he who the
he's
fuck is
Denji.
Kyle?
he's
Yes,
who the
that's
fuck
what
is
she
Kyle,
did.
yes. He's Denki, Kaminari from, My Hero. Electric Buzzkill.
Okay.
He's the human stun gun.
Okay.
Yes. But the larger reason why I had him as my second choice is because I know nobody else has watched this, so maybe except for Hardy, is his first leading role for the Silver Guardian. And I thought he did really well, despite the show not being that phenomenal anyway. And I was like, give him a shot here as a leading man in this Otome game. And then my first choice, because I feel like this would have been amazing. Let's get the master wizard himself. Let's go Damon Mills.
Wow.
Damon Mills is my first choice as Lupin.
So, Steph's gonna want to punch me in the face.
Why?
So my second choice for Lupin was Derek Snow.
Why would I want to punch you in the face?
That's not the reason why you're gonna want to punch me in the face.
Okay.
So my second pick was Derek Snow, because Derek Snow, I've learned, can do like fucking crazy shit with his voice.
Yeah, you're right.
And I said, fuck it. I'm gonna hit the deck now as I slowly back away from my headphones.
What did you do?
I know what she did! No, you didn't!
What did you do?
Yes, I did, bitch! I picked Cliffy C.
I can't hear you. We were freaking
I
out.
put Clifford. I put Cliff Chapin.
She
You know
mic
what?
dropped! She mic dropped! Steph is dead. 1.
You know what? Here's the funny thing. When I was making predictions myself, I actually
You almost did it.
considered Cliff as Lupin.
He was my first choice based off looks.
I mean, you're not wrong, actually.
Ugh.
Like,
Anyway,
again,
I'm
I
gonna eat this
considered
macaroni.
him. I considered him for Lupin and maybe like 1 or 2 other characters, but I'm like, no, this doesn't fit. So I was like, no, I don't think he's gonna be in this show. And he's, well, as far as
He was, by the way.
He is
by
in the
way.
show,
I know,
actually.
he's in episode 6 or something. I
Yeah.
think.
He has one of the best lines in episode 6, too.
Lovely.
Anyway, Gigi.
But also, I fucking hate you right now.
I knew it!
We're not
I
talking
knew
about
it!
why I hate you right now. We're not talking about it.
I knew
I have a
it!
shit-eating grin on right now, by the way.
Zenith.
My prediction was J. Michael Tatum
Okay.
Yeah.
because Kyoya.
Kyoya.
Kyoya Otari
Oran.
from Oran.
Oran.
Oh,
Who he
I
kinda
forgot
looks
he
like,
was
by
an
the way.
Oran.
Yeah, that
Alright.
That's how I learned who he fucking was.
Alright. Well, ladies. The winner of the Arsene Lupin race to become the best master thief in the world. Get in your Zeppelins. Drop your panties. It's J. Michael Tatum. Whoop! That's exciting for two of us.
and in the theater fills up with my with water.
All right.
That's not water.
So J. Michael Tatum,
Your tears are delicious.
your tears are delicious.
It's not tears.
And J. Michael Tatum, along with being number 2 in my voice actor reverse harem, is Tsukiyama from Tokyo Ghoul, Erwin from Attack on Titan.
Hell yeah.
And the reason why I picked him, British accent, would be Sebastian from Black Butler.
And here's where that weird pickup line comes back full circle.
Here it is.
That's one hell of a
friends.
pickup line. I didn't realize it until you mentioned it earlier.
Here it is.
Full circle.
Because I'm fucking trash. That's the shit I pick up on. All right, Zenith. I've got my poncho on, so I'm ready for you. Please expound on what you thought of J. Michael Tatum as the master Phantom Thief.
Well, I really loved him as Kyoya, and he's pretty much using his full Kyoya voice here, but he's actually going a little bit more with it. A lot of Oran was him just like being businessman, business, is this working? But here he's actually able to go full sexy, and he very subtly flirts like all the time, and I love it. I just love his character. It helps that he's actually one of the better characters in the show, and he doesn't have that much campness about him. I just love I just love that he's a thief, and he's never gotten caught. Like he has like something like 100 successful heists under his belt or something like that, and I like him that much. I'm attracted to him. I think he hot. I think he got it going on. You know, maybe I'm attracted to Kiyoya. I don't know. All I know is that I love him. I love his voice. And you know, yeah, Tatum. I have a very love-hate relationship with Tatum, but this is the love side right now.
Girl, Arsene Lupin, he's so fine. I can't deal with it. Oh my god, I love him so much.
I know, erg.
Tatum
gosh.
making the panties drop. Like yeah. You have your underwear on, not over on our side.
Just
of the pool.
Stay away from the script, Tatum, and we're okay. That's all I ask.
Let's not talk about that right now.
Stop. I loved
Bit of a low blow.
Stop. I loved this so much, you guys. But here's the thing. I had picked Tatum because if my worst fear came true, I knew he would do the best British accent out of anyone. And this is a role that I feel that he doesn't use the British tone of voice, the British accent at all to his ability. This is like the most Americanized I've heard him sound in a long time, which is very weird. Like, when I first watched the first episode of this, I was literally like 2:00 in the morning. I was tired as fuck. I was watching it on my phone and I heard Lupin talk and I was like, what the fuck? I was like, really? Like, why is Tatum not being full on Shakespearean Brit right now? But then I watched it again, as all good dub talkers, you know, do. And I fucking fell in love on the ground. Him and Cardia, OTP for life. I can't. I almost wish there were more British, but then I don't, because I feel like he's playing this character so perfectly. Like, I love him. And he's almost my best boy. If Van didn't look the way he did, and if Ian Sinclair weren't Van, Lupin would be my best boy, because he looks like fucking Tuxedo Mask, and we all know how I feel about that. So 1000% in love, totally in. Now I will take the con side of the argument. Please go ahead.
Megan, you can
I'll
go.
start.
I'm about to say you can go first. I want to be last.
Yeah, sure. I didn't think it was awful, but I also didn't want to have Lupin fuck me, which, I don't think Lupin's that interesting anyway, and I find him just to be, like, kind of an annoying lead main anime guy. So, there's that. I think that he is alright. I think that Tatum does a good job given what he's given as the character. I like it when he's a little bit of a sassy asshole. That's about the best part of the show. I do feel like Tatum was the safe choice in this show. And in this show where there are a couple of not so safe choices, and this being in a season of anime where there's not a lot of safe choices for leads, I'm a little bit let down. So, but I feel like Steph's going to articulate better what I want to say, so I'll let Steph take over.
Okay. So here's the thing. I think the performance is fine. Because going back to what I was commenting about with the types of roles that Tatum usually is cast as, one of them is the suave gentleman. Lupin is the suave gentleman with good intentions, so I understand the reasoning for casting Tatum here as Lupin. And the performance is great, but I think my problem lies with the voice and the sound and the tone of voice with the character design. Because Megan thinks it's more safe. I actually possibly think it's too old.
Ooh.
Ouch.
I hate saying that because I love Tatum as an actor.
Agreed.
I love him as an actor, and he does really well as Lupin. It's just the voice is not matching the character design for me.
If the character design was a little older looking, I think we'd all be more okay with it.
Yeah, like Lupin looks like he could be at the oldest, maybe mid-20s to me in this role, and it's not like Tatum can't pull off that age range. I mean, if we want to talk about the ultimate suave gentleman character that he's done, let's fucking talk about Sebastian and Black Butler. But
yes.
See, and that's my biggest fear whenever Tatum gets cast as like really suave British-ish characters, is like, please God, stop doing it. We get it. He's fucking Sebastian. We fucking get it, guys.
But I love it so much.
Which Gigi was saying, I'm glad they didn't have him. They didn't have the show go full English accent on us, because we don't get to have that problem here with Tatum. But I don't like saying it either, because I do enjoy Tatum as an actor, and his performances are phenomenal. This one just, it's a fine performance. I get what they're going for. To me, it just doesn't work, because I think it's kind of, because the character design looks younger than it should. That's my problem.
I don't see that at all. I really don't see it sounding too old. As for fuckableness, that's relative. So, that's on.
I mean, again, I don't really have a best boy, because I don't think I really am attracted to any of these boys. But
this is my top, and Van is my number 2. My number 2.
But yeah,
they switch. They rotate.
But yeah, that's my main bit of contention here. Is I fully understand what they're going for here, with casting Tatum as the suave gentleman, because this is his bread and butter right here.
It's his wheelhouse, yo.
His wheelhouse. He plays the suave gentleman with like the sexy tones, because he pulls that off very, very well, and it's a good performance. I'm not knocking him for the performance. It's just the character design does not equate the voice that's being used.
I wonder how old he's actually supposed to be. I don't really know.
I don't know either.
I don't know. Cardia is supposed to be 16. Finnis is supposed to be like 14.
I would hope at least the main crop of boys is in their 20s. Maybe with Van Helsing being the oldest among the group. I don't know. Like, cause see, Van Helsing looks much older.
Yes.
See, and here's the thing, going back to my thoughts on Ian, and it's a weird comparison. And I was saying this earlier and kind of shelving it for the time being. Because Van Helsing looks like an older, more mature character, having Ian play that works. But with Lupin looking more younger, and a bit more full of energy, again, the performance works. The voice is the issue here. Well, I don't want to say issue. That's a terrible way of putting it. It's, the voice is just not equating in my mind as working very well for this specific character design. That's my main issue.
I understand you 3,000%. I understand you. And I was about to go to final thoughts, and then I realized we had another fucking character, because it's the female Otome protagonist, Wet Paper Bag.
Wait a second. She's a character? I thought she was just a MacGuffin. The poison MacGuffin.
She actually has a name in this anime, and her name is Cardia, and you touch her and you die. And actually, you know what? As much shut up. As much shit as I give female Otome protagonists, this one is not shaping up to be as horrible as it could be. Yeah. So, that being said, who had a prediction for Cardia?
I did.
Kinda.
All right, Zenith, you go first.
I did too.
I had a paper bag.
God damn
okay.
it.
Sounds accurate.
Megan, that's every Otome game. A wet paper bag.
Yeah, basically, a wet paper bag is.
I mean, she's not wrong. Zenith is not wrong. She's
not wrong at all.
Fully.
Not wrong at all.
Okay, you can have serious stuff now.
Megan, who was your prediction?
My predictions were, because I have 2, but I need to pull up this other character. Again, did completely based off looks. I figured, hey, if she was one Otome protagonist, Dawn Bennett can play another Otome protagonist.
Okay. Fair.
And then my other prediction is a little bit out of left field, and it is Stephanie Garrett, who is Kyoko Naruko in A Centaur's Life. She's the satyr. She's the satyr girl that hangs out with Himeno and Nozomi.
I know nothing about A Centaur's Life, so I'm just gonna believe you.
Same. I will
just
take your word on it. So I was going through Funimation's and actually Sentai's too catalog of who would play Otome girls. Sentai likes to make Maggie Fleckno play all the Otome girls. But Funimation seems to spread them out a little. So I went through a bunch of shit that I've watched and had to weed out people who've already played a cute girl in an otome or in a trash anime. And so I came down to a couple of choices, but the main one that I wanted was Jill Harris because of Naho and Orange, and I really liked how she played Naho and Orange, and I wanted to give her a chance to put some life into a wet paper bag.
So I think Cardia was actually probably the toughest one to cast because unfortunately Otome game syndrome is a thing, and the heroine usually 9 times out of 10 is a wet fucking paper bag. And then also going back to my, if this person was director, this person should be this character, I went Kiss Him Not Me on this, and I picked Jeannie Tirado.
That is a very solid choice.
Yeah, because Jeannie, she brought a lot of personality and character to Surenuma, and she also has a lot of personality and a lot of fun with a lot of other roles she's done, but I don't recall ever or often her playing the more quiet types. You know what I mean?
And I skipped over Jeannie Tirado because she was in Kiss Him Not Me.
Yeah, but also at the same time, I've also never heard or seen her yet, anyway, in an Otome anime adaptation. So I was like, this would be an interesting choice. Why don't we give this a shot? And Jeannie was the only person I could think of. I couldn't think of anyone else who could fit, honestly.
Well, shot through the heart, guys, and I'm to blame. I apparently gave Jill Harris Cardia's name because that's who it is. That's who it is. Jill Harris, along with being Naho and Orange, which is why I picked her, was also Fuka in Fuka, I guess, and
Yes.
and Kobayashi.
We're having Jamal flashbacks.
And Repo Kitan. Jamal, what up? Jill was what I wanted here, and Jill, I thought, was a cute paper bag. Cardi is a cute paper bag with the potential to do more. And as the anime progresses, you see Cardia in the beginning. She's sitting in a chair. She don't know her head from her ass or a hole in the ground. She is like the victim here. She doesn't know what to do. And as she develops and as she grows friendships and possible relationships with all these boys who have Stockholm syndromed her, you can see that she's growing feelings. She's growing into a person. Episode 8. And then, like, her character is growing and developing. And I feel that's how Jill Harris plays her. Wet paper bag at the start because that is what she is. She is a wet paper bag. But as it goes on, Cardia is getting more confidence. She does a full body blow. And like I feel that in her performance here.
Blow,
like she's ready to take on the world and stand by her men and just get on it. Like there could be more to this character than just a wet paper bag. And there is more to this performance than a wet paper bag, which makes me so happy for an Otome adaptation. You have no idea.
I agree. I think Jill Harris gives this character so much more life than what she has. Like, she makes Cardia adorable. She makes Cardia, who she is. She brings Cardia to life. She is the horologium that is making Cardia beat. And I love that Jill Harris is doing this softer spoken character again, because I think Jill Harris is fantastic in almost everything she does that I've seen at this point. So I really like Jill Harris in this.
No, she's so cute.
Yeah, because I think the fear always is with these kinds of adaptations of Otome games, because you're basically supposed to self-insert yourself with the protagonist.
Yes.
And in an Otome game, it works, I can understand it, but in an anime adaptation, that's where things get a little bit tricky, because you're not really playing a game, you're just watching along the story. So, personally, I think this is probably one of the best female Otome protagonist in an anime adaptation that I've ever seen.
Hey.
That's saying a lot, all things considered. Because that fear of it just being a constant wet paper towel or paper bag or a piece of fucking driftwood or something, that's always a fear when you go into these kinds of adaptations, unfortunately. But
about the driftwood.
Yes.
Wait, what?
Driftwood.
Oh, driftwood.
But
Fuck.
I think you're perfect. You're right. As she starts out as that like empty shell, and throughout the series, at least with these first 4 episodes, you're seeing her grow much more in emotion and personality, and that's what an Otome game is supposed to do. You grow your character along this way. Similar thing can be said about Persona series. I know there was, with Persona 4's adaptation, there was a lot of flack about you not growing as a person in terms of personality, and it's just weird spurts here and there. But with Jill as Cardia, it's growing. Like, her personality, her confidence, her emotional level, it's growing as the character is growing. This is probably one of the better written female lead Otome adaptation protagonists I've ever seen, and Jill Harris is phenomenal. She's just absolutely adorable with it.
I loved it. I simply loved it. As much of a blank slate as these games can be, and I've seen some of these where they're pretty much nothing. They're an insert of, you want to fuck the guy, so you put your mind in that character.
Yeah.
She actually is a full-rounded character, and I think Jill Harris does a great job of rounding that out. It's her emotion that she brings, and you really do get the sense that she is this emotional human being, and you feel for her, especially when she gets the pillow and the new outfit. I really love that new outfit, by the way.
That
new outfit is
scene.
cute.
Oh, thank God. How the fuck did that bitch sleep in the first outfit?
It's the fabric. It's the fabric. She slept on her back, remember?
Yeah, but
That
still,
bustle, though.
how does she run in that?
Bustle,
How? I mean, they address that in the show,
tried.
but
She did try. She did try.
Cardia
She
is
lifted up the
cosplay
skirt.
goals for real.
It was adorable. She lifts up the skirt. She's like, I can run easier like this.
does she
And
ever
Luan's just like,
wash that outfit? Is that the only thing she ever wears?
I have no idea.
Probably.
But luckily she has a different outfit now.
Yeah.
She has
Yes.
more clothes. Thank God. She can actually wear different clothes now.
Ladies, it is time for our final thoughts on Code Realize. I would like to go last because I have something very important to say. So who would like to begin?
I'll start us off, since this is my first.
Okay.
Trash time.
Your first rodeo in the realm of trash.
We have popped my cherry, and
Woo! Did you
Now we
like
gotta
it? Was it
get
good
to
for
watch more
you?
trash.
you always remember your first, and I need to
Was it
watch
good for
more
you?
of this, and it was good for me.
Yes.
This show was different than I thought it would be, but it was everything I wanted it to be. It was something entertaining. I laughed the entire time watching it. It's something that you don't really care too much for the plot. Overall, the plot doesn't really matter. But it's a show where Victor Frankenstein and Van Helsing fight vampire baby Dracula. And, Captain Hardpants and Finis. And it just, it feels like a fanfic come to life. But
That's really the best way to describe it.
it's played so straight that it's so much fun. It never got to the point where I was bored, and it never got to the point where I wanted to stop watching. And that's the mark of a show that's so bad it's good, and it's done in such a good way. In my other podcast, the Disney Debate, I've seen some really, really bad movies. And there's a fine line between something that's so bad it's awful, something so bad it's boring, and something so bad it's fantastic. And this is just the right amount of, trash, but polish, and it does a lot of things right. Especially with this voice cast, especially with the presentation, especially with the opening theme. I really enjoyed that opening theme.
Oh god, I actually hate the opening theme.
No, not the theme itself, but the song. Like, I like
The song is pretty. The theme, like,
the theme
presentation in general is like, 'Cause it takes kind of bits and pieces from the show itself. It's one of those. It's like,
Yeah,
There's actually a huge spoiler in the first opener. I'll let you guys go back and find out what it is.
But I mean, like, the song itself is great, and like I just overall I think what is presented here, I found myself laughing. I want to laugh some more. You know, this show deserves the big Toblerone.
you bring this evil into my house.
I like how
You do
said
this
it was
the day of my
polished
daughter's
trash.
wedding. I will kill you.
All right, Stephanie, don't kill Zenith. Instead, give your final thoughts on your show.
Go.
3 account for Zenith dying.
Go.
Neo Yokio is not an anime, thank you. I'm gonna stand by that argument. So, I knew what I was getting into. I've seen similar shows of this nature compared to Zenith. I've seen Otome trash. This is oddly, at least, some of the characters, this is some of the better character writing, which is weird to say. But I mean, if we're talking mostly about Cardia, hell yeah, it's a better character writing right there. But, the dub, for the most part, it's solid. Like, you have some great performances from a mix of voice actors that have either been around for a while, who are still, like, going up in the world here. And I think a good combination of what this dub cast contributes to is the director pairing here of Jiri, Jewel, and Afia. Because going back to what I said in the beginning, Jiri has done similar shows like this before. Afia has created light novel Otome games before. Having this combination works very well. My biggest gripes, minor bits on the writing, which did unfortunately affect Impy in my opinion. And then some of the casting choices, to the point where either the voice didn't match the character to me, or I fear for the voice actors' vocals, where they could damage them. So it's solid. It's a solid dub. The show itself is a weird thing. Which, by the way, I didn't get to rage about the whole Victor Frankenstein thing. How the fuck did he get off the train?
Plot device.
When the fuck did he get off the train?
I'm gonna get the fuck on the train.
Choo
I'm
choo.
gonna get the fuck on the train.
No,
The salt train is here.
He got on the...
Look. Let me get on the train. Because it's almost been 3 hours.
I'm just gonna throw it out there. When the fuck did he get off the train? But, otherwise, I say it's a solid dub for actually possibly one of the better Otome anime adaptations I've ever seen. And that's saying a lot, in terms of the show itself. But, yeah, I think it's pretty solid despite some of my minor gripes with it. But how the fuck did he get off the train? I'm sorry.
Megan, get on the train. Choo choo.
Well,
Choo choo, Megan.
You see,
Let me get on the
there
train.
were 2 of Victor Frankenstein. That's how it happened.
Look, this is not fucking
Please do
Go Sick.
not start.
Megan, get on the train.
Yeah, let Megan on the train.
Okay, so, like I said, Code Realize is the greatest unintentional comedy I've watched this year. I agree with Steph that this is probably one of the Otome game adaptations I could actually show other people and not be that embarrassed by. And it's not going to be considered a UN violation when I do it.
You're not wrong.
I really like the dub. Do I think it's one of the best dubs that's come out of the fall anime season?
No.
No, because I think Blood Blockade Battlefront's better, but that's an established cast. I think Love Live Sunshine is fucking fantastic. And then there are other shows I'm not talking about because I'm not either on that episode or it is an episode I'm on and I want to save my thoughts for that particular show. I think that there's a lot of really interesting casting, like Justin Briner as Finis, Chris Guerrero as MB. There are some that kind of make us scratch our head, like Tatum as Lupin, but hey, for some people it turns the auditorium into Shamu's tank, and for some people it turns it into the fucking Sahara. I mean, if we're being honest.
We are. We're being honest.
This is a dub that I can easily recommend people watching if they want to. It is very, very key that the show has a really good writing. It comes off as endearing. It comes off as a little strange sometimes, and there are a few stupid in-jokes, but I think it's a solid dub effort all around.
Okay, and now it's time for me. Me who... Oh my god. All right. So when the show got announced, I prayed and prayed and prayed. I went on my social media crusade to get Funimation to not only, since they're teamed with Crunchyroll now, for Crunchyroll to get it, for Funimation to dub it. I wanted this to be a dub so badly because we all know Funimation's track record with the Bishi shows. We've talked about this in gross detail on the Royal Tutor episode, so I won't go back and rehash what we've already said. But the main point is that lots of anime that are aimed towards females do not get the treatment that other anime that are shonen, say, that are the Dragon Balls of the world, get that kind of attention. So not only did Code Realize get a dub, it got a fucking top tier dub, in my opinion. Like, I don't have a lot of bad things to say about it, but at the same time, I think one of the main reasons why it got the dub that it did is because it doesn't play itself like Otome trash. And for that, I'm sad, because I have no idea if they would have known this going in, and I'm pretty sure they wouldn't have. But if the Japanese version had been more campy, or had been the shoujo trash that Diabolic Lovers was, but in steampunk England, would they have given it the same treatment that it's getting now, when they can pass it off to a different demographic as an adventure show? That I don't know, but you know what? I'm not fucking burning my bridges or counting my fucking chickens. I am very, very happy and grateful, Funimation, that this is getting the dub that it did, and it's getting the treatment that it's getting. And I can only hope in the future that you recognize that girls buy your shit, and that this is what we want to see. Some of us, not all of us, but my people, the shoujo trash people, this is what we want to see. And I'm very grateful for this dub and for the top tieredness that it has gotten. I'm happy that it is the way it is for the show going in the direction that it's going. So thank you very much. I am fucking satisfied, and not a lot of boys that I fuck with can make that claim. So, all right, Code Realize boys, good job.
If for nothing else, I'm really glad that we're finally getting something this mainstream with this level of polish, because it's something I can, if this gets a physical release, and I hope it does.
It will. We know
everything Funimation simuldubs they put out on home.
Well, then I will personally say right now in this cast, I'm going to go out and I'm going to buy whatever deluxe edition or whatever edition I can, and I will review that shit.
I'm glad that this is the first. This show in particular is Zenith's introduction to Otome trash. Honestly, I'm glad it's this, 'cause I don't know how she would feel if she went straight into like Diabolic Lovers Amnesia territory when it's like I couldn't.
Even though this is by the same,
like, we can't do that.
It's by the same people who did Amnesia. I cannot willingly put you into Amnesia, because Amnesia versus Code Realize, the character designs are very, very similar. But oh my god, is Amnesia like on the top tier level of hot garbage trash, as opposed to Code Realize,
like,
which
seriously is. It's bad. It's so bad.
It has Code Realize has redeeming qualities. So. If you like our redeeming qualities, and you like to listen to the Dub Talk podcast, and you like to watch anime on Funimation that is English dubbed, let me tell you how to do some of that. If you want to watch Code Realize, the subbed version is on Crunchyroll, and the dubbed version is up on Funimation now. You can get a Funimation subscription for like $5 to $6 a month, and it comes out. You can get a free trial. There's a million ways to do it. go on Josh Greeley's Twitter. He's always giving away free trials of Funimation Now with like $1 or something like that. Josh likes to whore out Funimation, so good on you, sexy Josh. So you can do that. Fair warning, if you get enough of all the wonderful dubs that you can watch and you don't want to watch them anymore and you want to cancel your subscription, make sure you do that, because if you don't, they're going to charge your card. They're going to take your money. Nobody likes it when they take your money. Now, if you want to hang out with the Dub Talk crew some more, you're doing it on our YouTube page, which is right here, right now, where you're listening to this. We also have a Twitter at dubtalkpodcast, where we shit tweet a lot and tweet out surveys, so you guys get to decide what shows we cover, just like this one. You can check us out on Twitter, on Instagram, on Tumblr, on whatever social medias you'd like to check us out on. If you'd like to hang out with us personally, my Twitter and YouTube is Anime Palooza, where I talk about boys just like now. And, you know, the real ones won't date me, so I make my life up with fake ones. Don't fucking judge me. Judge the system. You can
remember, Gigi, only Jesus
can kink shame me. You can find stuff at 4. You can find stuff at Lilac Anime Review spelled REVUE, Megan at Queenira 2, QUEENIRA number 2, and Zenith at Zenith Will Rule is your Twitter, right?
Yes, that is correct.
I was right. Go me. And Zenith also has a YouTube channel where she does Let's Plays and reviews of anime and a bunch of other awesome things. And she also does another podcast called The Disney Debate. We're very busy people over here at Dub Talk Podcast. We're always fucking multitasking. Next up on the docket are the rest of the Fall Election Arc shows. So I hope you'll stay tuned to listen to us talk about those. Let us say goodbye, my friends. Thank you so much for listening. I think I got everything in order. May all your trash be shoujo, and I love your faces.
Bye, guys.
Bye. And just remember, guys. Just remember, if it's trash, dig in there, because sometimes it can be fun.
So much glorious trash.
And only Jesus can kink shame you. Okay, bye.
Okay, bye.